One thing
So
I
guys, we
Mhm.
live, guys. So we're talking about the post-match reaction of Arsenal Chelsea. Uh, we lost to Arsenal for the second time in a row this season. So the first one was 3-1 at the Emirates Stadium, and the second one, yes, at the bridge. We lost 1-0. Yeah, overall performance we play. See, I understand we play so well. We did this, but I don't want to be hearing we play so well and we miss so many chances and we can't even convert our chances. As a fans, that pissed me off watching that matches. It pissed me off because I don't feel good. The team I don't want to lose to is Arsenal Football Club. That's the team I don't want to lose to because now they won against Arsenal. They're shouting. Atata is the best manager in world football. They are buzzing. They are dancing. What the heck? Get the heck out of here, man. Get out of here. I
Arteta
don't
got
want to.
Arteta got lucky today.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that because like that, those thoughts piss me off a lot. It pissed me off, man. It pissed me off. I'm like, I understand. I understand. Yeah, Eid Mubarak, brother. Eid Mubarak to you. Yeah, I understand. In that scenario, it happens. It happens. I understand that. I'm not really that much angry because Tuchel, we know Tuchel he make that changes, and I was never mad that with that changes he made. I completely do agree with it with that changes he made, but oh, this mentality has been there ever since under Antonio Conte, under the manager. Well, that is what Tuchel needs to know that this mentality has to be there. I understand the players are young, but the but is this mentality can't be going on. We can't be, especially with some players in that team that when I look at them, I shake my head, e.g. Zuma. Because I think we had this conversation about player that needs to go if I want to bring a center back in. I think Sam was like Zuma, and people were going at him. Zuma is the best defender. Zuma is good on the head, but playing center back, ball playing center back, Zuma is abysmal. This, yeah, we may have missed Timo Werner earlier, but Timo Werner today will have helped a lot because there are some chances we were missing in the first half. Arsenal were playing so many high lines that fitted Timo Werner as a player because it thrives on that kind of protection and it will score those goals. It may miss his free posts, but Timo Werner will work hard and make chances. That's how good of a player he is. So, your take on the matches, Sam, give me your take on it.
Yeah, man. The first thing I want to say, I don't want to be too reactionary about this scoreline because what will matter is at the end of the season. But for this game, number one, we gifted Arsenal that goal. They didn't.
Mm-hmm.
If we didn't give them this goal, gift wrapped and everything, they wouldn't have scored. And number two is that we just have to see that number one, as you said,
Mm-hmm.
Kante and all these guys getting rest was needed
Was
because
needed there.
they were playing it. Even Werner needed that rest. They've
Yeah.
been playing too many games. And if you
Mm-hmm.
look at it, that we'll have cup final and all that. They needed at least 1 week where they don't play. So that was I know Tuchel said he takes all the blame, but that's that doesn't really matter. The fact is that for me, Jorginho and Zuma, they caused the game. Zuma, for me, I feel bad that Christensen is injured right now because if we're going to play Zuma from now till the Champions League final,
Yeah.
it's going to be rough. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we were unlucky. We hit the bar twice. Chelsea hit the bar twice. Maybe we didn't create killer cut chances, but I do feel we're unlucky. And Arsenal were very lucky. So, sometimes when that happens, you lose the game. It's not like if we had just a little bit of luck, one of those chances would have gone in. Havertz missing that chance. I can't blame the guy too much because after that he didn't really get any clear cut chances. And yeah, Arsenal let them take the dub. It's not like it really matters to them. Maybe they can make confederations or is it conference cup or whatever.
Yeah. UEFA Conference League. Yeah.
Yeah, if they make that, that's good. I don't really care about that, sure, but the most important thing would be the reaction. What would they do against Leicester in this cup final? For me, what would
Yeah.
they do against
Do
Leicester in the
you
league?
do you agree with the post-match reaction of Tuchel? It was very mad, very, very angry. He was pissed off.
Yeah,
He was
I
so
agree with
angry.
it.
I've never seen him that angry before. I've never seen him that mad before. It
Yeah, I
was
saw
mad.
that
It was mad.
he
It
said
was mad.
we gifted them the goal.
We give
We
them,
take
yeah.
full responsibility, and yeah, that's good. That's how a leader actually acts. And for sure, he can't say it's not. It was a mistake. That Jorginho mistake. It was Jorginho's mistake, but I feel Zuma didn't help him out because I don't want to say it's Zuma's fault completely, but I think
Mhm.
with somebody more confident, Jorginho self might have passed the ball back to Zuma instead of passing it to Kepa. But just because he feels Zuma is not the most but it was totally Jorginho's fault. So I just want to make that clear. Let it not be like Kepa.
I don't know how
I
people on Twitter are getting Zuma involved with that mistake. Like, I don't understand.
no. The thing, no one is
Eric,
saying
you
it's
know what?
Zuma's
You know what?
fault.
We're not blaming Zuma, but I also blame Zuma. You know why I blame Zuma? When Kepa gave him that ball, he wanted to pass to Jorginho. Four players already with Jorginho. You
And
don't
he
need to
froze a
pass back.
little bit.
You don't
He
need to
froze
pass
a
back.
little
You
bit.
don't need to give him back. Just pass the ball back. Either you take it to the throwing or you give it back to Kepa and tell him to bully the ball out. That is lack of mentality. You are a central back for goodness sake, and you are playing football. You understand? Rudiger will not make that mistake. Unlike Christensen, they won't make that mistake too. That's my problem with him. He
The
lack
thing with Zuma
concentration.
is that I felt he froze a little bit, and another thing is that I've seen Christians. You know what? Let's just remove Zuma from this stuff. But all I will say is that I feel with other defenders, this situation might not happen, but it doesn't mean it's his fault. It was completely Jorginho's fault.
Jorginho's fault, yeah.
Kepa, I wish Kepa left the ball even so that Jorginho can have an own goal instead of giving it to Smith Rowe. But yeah, that's it, man. It's going to be about the reaction. That's the main thing. Let's see what they do on Sunday.
Eric, your take on the match?
Uh, um, I knew that I knew we would lose the game at halftime. I knew we were going to lose. Um, yeah, NK Dons was right. Unfortunately, I don't know.
I will come to him because I will come to why did he say that. You have to give us explanation for that. Yeah, continue, Eric, continue. Eric, you there?
He's on mute.
Oh, MK Dons, you are the one that gave the right position. Give me what? Give us a brief explanation about that.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah. Nah. I was just obviously coming into the game. Everyone's excited. Everyone's good, but I knew we were gonna rotate the game a bit, and bearing in mind that we do have an FA Cup final. FA Cup final. So I said I feel like we were on a humbling, like we were on like something to bring us down to earth, really. So I said either it will be a 1-0 or 1-1 loss because I knew he was going to rotate the team. I didn't know what position, but I knew it wasn't going to be our strongest team. With regards to the goal, you see here's the thing. Here's what I have to say. Like, do you think if Mendy was there,
Yes.
this would have happened? Because I feel like
No.
Jorginho just hit it blindly, because Jorginho normally just hits these passes blindly anyway. If you watch him
Yeah,
play,
but
he
I think
normally
it
does
does
that
that to
anyway.
Mendy, and Mendy
He does that to
understands
Mendy,
when he
yeah.
does
And
that.
Mendy,
Mendy
I feel like
understands.
Mendy maybe.
MK, that's a great point you brought up there. Fact is because Kepa is not used to the changes affected the game for sure.
Yeah, and also those kind of stuff. Mendy understand this thing. He's very experienced enough to understand this thing. It won't happen when Mendy is there. I don't think it will happen
It's
because
just
you see,
yeah.
in the first half, this back pass was not playing, and I noticed something about Mendy that is different than Reza Balaga. Mendy will shout at Zuma, and Reza Balaga won't do it. Mendy will shout. I've seen him does it a lot. He does it not even once, not even twice. He does it regularly. If Thiago Silva and Rudiger are not playing very well, Mendy will shout at them and tell them, I am the goalkeeper. Do not put me in trouble. Don't pass back to me. Take the ball out. Don't pass me back. Don't even give me that ball.
And even the fact that Nkedon says that Jorginho makes those passes like 5 or 6 times each game without looking, because he knows that he knows that this guy will be there, he will be around that goalpost. So in a way, it was weird that Kepa was totally to the left, but I don't want to blame Kepa too. But yeah, MK, go on, man.
Continue.
Yeah, man. So I thought like being objective and real, looking at both sides of the thing and knowing how Arteta seems to have our number, really, I didn't feel confident we were going to win the game, and I just felt like there's going to come a point in time where, like, it. To be fair, I thought our attack would be still, but we were creating a few chances. It's just that, sometimes we just don't convert these chances. When you're a striker that could just get you that goal,
wait.
we don't have a player that could get you that goal.
I'm just listening to Tuchel's post-match now, man. The man look angry.
Yeah, of course he's going to be upset. He's going to be upset.
Ever since he took over as a manager, I've never seen him get this angry before. Like when the way was like, the blame is on me. I take full responsibility. I'm not happy with the lineup. 2 minutes later, I was like, "Wait, guys, calm down, 2K, calm down, man." He looks so angry, man. Damn.
You see his face at full time. I feel like he was going to kill somebody.
I think it's good because I feel like it's going to create a response. Like Sam said, this is basically he took a risk basically on this
Mm-hmm.
game. The team couldn't get it really done. Now we have to look at the FA Cup final and say let's win that game, because if you don't, now we have to ask questions, and then it's going to be
Mm-hmm.
a question of top four as well. So
Mm-hmm.
now it's just momentum. Now we just go pick it up again and move on. Don't look too like blindly into the game. Like we lost, yeah, all right. You know what I mean? I know it's Arsenal as well, so it hurts a bit, but on the grand scheme of things, if we win the FA Cup, then it's not too bad. Then now we just focus on top four from till the end of the
But
season.
but
So
yeah, I still have an issue with the whole chance creation. Um,
Okay.
we have to change something. Something has to improve. We need to get better players, or we need to change the system or something, because we're not doing enough. We're just not
Eric, can I ask
scoring
you a
enough
question
goals.
though? Do you think that's because all these players are actually new? Because let's be real, this is the first season they're all playing together.
Um, I think we're playing a back five for a reason, right? Because
Yeah.
Tuchel doesn't trust us to do a back four, so that is that's something that affects us. So some people might argue that it's not a big effect, but I think it definitely affects us going forward because we have one less attacking, or maybe one more defensive player. You know, we have five defenders instead of four. So that's just a very small part of it, but we have to improve, man. We have to get a goal scorer. We have to do this season. We might be able to get over the line. We might be able to win the competitions that we're in. But going forward, we need to improve, man. That
Mm-hmm.
midfield, we need some. It's like you see
I
people
mean,
like
we're gonna talk about the. I'm hearing some rumor about Marco Verratti coming, but we'll talk about it. We'll talk about that. I just
yeah,
want to.
yeah, yeah. I
I just
see.
want to get
Yeah,
my. I want to get my handgoodness out of the way because at this moment I'm still pissed off. I am mad at the moment. I'm mad. I'm hungry at
yeah.
the moment.
I I'm not on the Marco train like HH, but
Mm-hmm.
he's a good player and he would help us. I think he would help us. But Jorginho is
But guys, let me ask you guys
we'll
something.
discuss Marco later.
You guys are a lot of you
I
guys are
don't
Chelsea
agree with that.
fans here.
Wait, what happened?
A lot of you guys are Chelsea fans here. I don't. You guys, a lot of you guys are Chelsea fans here. Do you guys think it was a good decision to rest all these players?
Yes, for the fixtures coming up, it was.
But you guys are playing Leicester. The Leicester rest players against United.
Leicester had to play their players. They had no
Exactly.
choice.
But then, so if Leicester don't rest players and they played yesterday, and then you guys are playing on the weekend. I mean, and you guys have a bigger squad than Leicester. What was the need
It's,
to rest all those players?
I
Because
think you
Chelsea have
should think of the players that were rested today. It was the goalkeeper, Mendy, who hasn't had a rest since Man City, the FA Cup.
you're asking why the players are rested. They can't play
Mendy was
every.
Yeah, I
They
rested.
can't
mean,
play
Candido
every.
I
didn't
don't
play too many
understand.
games.
Said, you can't compare Leicester City squad with Chelsea squad. There's a massive difference between because if you look at the matches we play in Leicester City, there's a difference.
We had
Conte,
that.
there's no Conte, no, so many players were even missing, no
Leicester are
Mendy and
not playing
Konami.
Champions League
And
football,
then,
so
exactly,
like
No,
at
wait,
the
wait,
end,
wait, wait.
Yeah,
Time out, guys, time
exactly.
out.
The Champions
Well,
League.
so because you guys are, what you're saying right now doesn't make any sense, Abdullahi. Because Leicester are fighting for top four, just as Chelsea are. And then they also in the FA Cup final. You guys are playing against FA Cup final this weekend. And
I
you guys
know.
have the Champions League final, which is on the 29th. That's
Mm-hmm.
3 weeks away.
Did did,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
did
So
But
they?
my
if if
question
if,
to you
if a
is,
player gets injured,
No, but
Mm-hmm.
did they have a Champions League? Did they have a Champions League semi? Did they have a Champions League
No.
semi final? Because those
exactly,
were
and
games
then
that
if
were
a
played.
player
So
no,
gets
they play,
injured,
it's
but
accumulation of minutes.
no, 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 no. But
It's an
I get the
accumulation of
point. I
minutes.
get that point. But but I get the point. But it's about because right now the situation you guys get the whole purpose is the reason why I'm saying this is because you don't just don't want to be in a situation where they have to fight every game. They have to get a result every game in the Premier League. You guys need to get top four done and
We'll
dusted.
have to.
The problem is this is just the reality you guys put
We'll
yourself
have to.
in.
Uh,
This result. Now you guys have to perform
It's
against
not. It's
Leicester.
not that
You
bad.
guys
It's
now
not
have
that
to
bad.
like win
Yeah,
against
And
Leicester.
let
Said,
me
Said,
tell you.
it's not
Said,
that bad.
let me
Leo,
respond to him. Let me
Leo is a
respond to him.
very, very.
Said,
Just chill, man. Come
no,
on,
Said,
Said,
man.
No,
can I
no,
just
you're
no.
say something real quick?
overreacting. And
The
for
thing
me,
is,
I
And
no
agree with you.
Christensen.
You're
yeah,
Christensen got
overreacting
injured on
way too
Sunday.
much, man.
No, not the
you're
Man City game.
prioritizing. You're
Christensen got
prioritizing top
injured,
four. Yeah,
and I think that
you're
played into
prioritizing top four
Tuchel's.
over a trophy, or you're prioritizing top four over like what are you prioritizing the Premier League over?
It's
Okay,
not even.
my
It's not.
here's
It's
the
not
thing,
even that.
guys.
If you looked at the
Here's
game
the
before. Sorry. Continue. Continue.
Yo,
no, guys.
who's talking?
I'm just looking at. I'm just looking at that. There's a couple games left, guys. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
There's Chelsea has 2 games left in the league, right? Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is that am I
Yeah.
correct, guys?
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. So you guys have 2 games left in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Liverpool has 2 games in hand. If Liverpool wins those 2 games in hand, they're 1 point behind Chelsea with the same amount of games played. West
No, it
Ham,
can't be
if they
one. It
win their
can't be
game in
1 point.
hand,
It can't
yes,
be
it is
one
1
point.
point.
It's
It's
1
It's
one
point.
1
point.
point.
Yeah, 1 point. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
That's
one
crazy.
point. It's 1 point. It's
if
1 point. It's 1 point.
That's crazy. Wow.
if West Ham win their game in hand, they're 3 points behind Chelsea. Chelsea has Leicester to play, so and they have Leicester to play. Who's your last? What's your last game? I don't know who
It's
your
Villa.
last game is.
Aston
Aston
Villa.
Villa.
Aston Villa.
Is it
Aston Villa.
Aston Villa? So my question is, you guys don't want to be in a situation where you guys have to put out a strong team against Leicester and also put a strong team against Villa just to make sure you guys got top four. If you guys would
Said,
have
Why? Why?
actually
Because
Said,
put out
why?
let me,
Wait.
a
Why?
Said,
Why
let
better
would
me,
you?
a
Why?
guys,
better
Why?
guys,
team this
MK,
season,
Why
MK,
would you
just
want?
hold on.
Why
if
would
it
you
would
not want that? Why would you
Let me
not want
let me
that? Sorry.
explain. Said, I understand what you're saying. You cannot compare United squad and Leicester City squad and Chelsea squad. United literally gets there because they know they're gonna play on Thursday. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will not be stupid enough as a manager to play Bruno, to play Pogba, to play Rashford, to play Greenwood, to play Cavani. It's not gonna be stupid enough to do that because the players need it. They are not machine, they are not robots. They need rest. I understand why Tuchel does the changes. I completely do understand.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not blaming me for the changes he made. What I'm not happy about is the performance of the player because
exactly,
I believe
exactly.
you going to that pitch is you performing.
Yeah, that's
Tuchel
It's
also
like
crazy.
said he
we
came out and
rested
said it.
against Man City. We
Yeah,
rested
that's
Mhm.
players
crazy.
against Man City, but
Yeah,
we
he
still
rested the
won the
players against
game.
Man City and we still win.
yeah,
So
yeah,
He
that's
yeah.
even
an
came out and said it
excuse.
today. Even
And
himself came out, he said, I make
Yeah.
too many changes and I take that responsibility. I'm not happy about it. As
yeah,
a manager,
that team was
And
good enough to beat Arsenal.
another thing people should remember is that even the last game against Man City, Christensen got injured. And why did Christensen get injured? It was because, in a way, he's been
Mhm,
playing a lot of games.
mhm.
Even Tuchel said it that they kind of, they have this chart where they see when a player is on overload. That they kind of saw that Christensen was 50-50. That means if he plays the game, there's a probability he could get injured. So I think the same thing happened with Kante and um, Rudiger and the rest is that they saw on the chart that maybe if these guys play this game, there's a possibility of them getting injured. So it's better for them to rest and then recharge and be able to go maybe 3 more or 4 games without
No,
needing
fair
that
enough.
rest again.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all this stuff is hindsight. Chelsea would
No,
have
fair
lost
enough. Fair
anyway,
enough.
even with those players. So all this.
Abdullah, it wasn't because of the changes. We beat City. It's a. I think there was a clear lack of leadership on that pitch, and the biggest mistake was subbing off Mendy and putting in Kepa
Yeah,
in
I
the
But what
starting
about
agree.
lineup.
what about
Got
Thiago Silva?
There
I
was
agree.
clearly a lack of communication and leadership in that defense.
But Thiago
Clearly,
Silva there in that defense.
Thiago Silva was on the
doesn't
pitch.
matter.
What do you mean it
Doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter?
What? I mean, you take out Mendy. That's a huge hole. You've got a keeper. You've got a goalkeeper who's not communicating with the defense. There was a lack of leadership, in my opinion. If you say there was no lack of leadership, you clearly did not watch the game.
Thiago Silva's
There
been
was a lack of leadership.
Thiago Silva has more experience
I
than
would
Mendy.
argue this team was stronger than the team we fielded against Man City.
But the leader in our team, which is Aspi, played. So I don't think you can say it's a lack
guys,
of leadership.
this is what Tuchel
I'm
said
not
after the
sure,
game.
man. I'm not sure if
It's,
Aspie is
it's just
the
it's
So are
leader
you
in our
saying
team. I'm not
Mendy
sure,
is the
man.
leader in the team? Mendy is the leader of this
Mendy,
team.
Rudiger in the defensive back line. I want those two there. in an important game.
No, you can say that, but you
Yes.
can't say it's lack of leadership because
Yeah,
leadership
no,
matters.
there was a lack of leadership.
Okay, guys,
There was
Tuchel
a
said
lack
this
of
And
leadership.
after the
and
after
let's be
he
on
said
that.
it, he
Let's
said this
be.
after the post match.
There
He
was a
said
lack of leadership.
no. Tuchel
It's
said
obvious.
I made so many changes, and even though that was easy for me to say after he lost, I should not have done things like this.
Yeah,
It's a big fight for the top four. It's always a big fight. It will
yeah,
never it never felt like a relief, and today is a big lesson for us to learn from. He also said, I think things are in our hand now, but today is a chance miss. We had some good data, but now we
yes,
must show how we can cope
yes.
from a bad defeat as a
Exactly.
team.
I mean,
It's a
all he
chance.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah, yeah.
chance.
all
Basically,
he
guys,
said
It's a
was
chance
obvious
missed.
things.
But come on
guys,
now.
guys,
All he said was obvious
You
things.
can't say you
guys.
can't say it was
Tuchel
the
said
quality of the
exactly what I
team.
just said.
Thank you. I'm about just gonna
Tuchel
say that.
literally said exactly what I just said.
I'm about just gonna
Mhm.
say that.
I mean, but then,
Exactly.
okay,
No, but he's going to say that,
but
isn't it? If
okay.
you lose the game, you're
Also,
going to say that, aren't you?
Mhm.
Not necessarily, to be honest. Some managers
Yeah,
will just be like, we're unlucky. And
I mean they were. I mean Chelsea was unlucky.
I feel like
It was just,
I feel like
yeah,
Tuchel was being honest though. I feel like in those comments, Tuchel was actually being honest.
yeah, he's being honest.
I
He's
think
being
he
honest
could.
because I mean,
I think he believed that he could got away with the team that he put out. And I feel like what I feel like, and what I don't. I want to hear from you, Chelsea fans, is because the thing that really got me today watching the game, how disappointing I was from the players that he gave the opportunity to. Because a lot of as much as you guys people make fun of Timo Werner, Timo Werner is better than a lot of the players that are playing today. What Timo Werner does for Chelsea, not a lot of players does, and you guys have really missed the guy.
yes, sir.
Timo
Yes,
Werner
sir.
has
It wasn't a factor of the quality in our team. We had
Said,
the quality.
we had the
We
quality.
had
What Tuchel was saying that, see, I understand the changes in me, like I said already, but the performance was me as a fans watching makes me suffocate. I
no,
almost
I
show
don't, because we
watching.
should have never benched
I
Mendy.
It's
That
not.
made a big difference.
no,
but you,
But then
but
Samuel, he
you,
said it.
Oh,
that
you got
made
There's
to
a
have
an
a
big
F,
keeper,
difference.
there's
bro.
an FA Cup
guys,
final. No, there's an FA
Listen,
Cup final,
guys, just
and playing
guys.
you
Mendy,
you cannot
Listen,
come
there's a
here and
one.
tell me
Listen,
that the
listen,
quality of the team
listen,
was weak. You can't say that. We had
listen,
Havertz,
listen,
but
Mount,
no,
listen,
Pulisic,
listen.
no,
It
no,
was
no,
it
no,
was
no,
it was
Jorginho,
no,
Gilmore,
it was
Chilwell,
one at
Reece
one
it was
after
a
the
James,
other.
2-1.
1-0 loss. We lost the
guys, one
game.
at a time, one at a time.
Let's just relax. We lost the
Mhm.
game.
I'm
We
just
lost the
saying, how
game.
did we
We
concede
lost
that
the game. I
goal? That's
understand
what I'm trying
emotions
to
are.
say. There was
Is
some
it silly?
emotions. I was just
Go to the
making a
team,
point
but
that
we
there was a
lost the.
lack of
Let's not.
leadership, and
It was
I
another
know your
person is
emotional.
emotion.
saying
I
it
know. I
wasn't.
understand your emotion.
Can you explain to
It
me
was
why
just
it
no, no,
wasn't
no.
why?
Bro,
Okay.
mistakes
Listen.
happen in
Wait.
games. It
Sam,
happens.
Sam, Sam. I understand. I no. I understand what he's saying, but I feel like it was just a situation where I don't think the team had any trust in Kepa. Now, if you could say that's unprofessional, whatever. But going over the course of that
I
game,
wouldn't say that.
it was just obvious
It
that they
wasn't
had no
trust,
faith.
and it
No,
was no leadership.
in my opinion, they didn't. A 1-0 loss. It's hard to say there's no leadership. They just made a mistake.
I can say
It
that. I can
happens.
say
Like
that.
it
Exactly.
Let
happens,
me
and they
tell
But
you
Samuel,
why.
Samuel, can I ask you a
They
question?
were.
it's a 1-0
Sheffield
loss.
game?
Okay,
Remember the
go
Sheffield
ahead.
game,
Ask me a
It's
Samuel?
not like
question.
we got
Ask me a
piped.
question.
Remember the Sheffield game? The Sheffield game. Mendy played that game, and Rudiger scored an own goal.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that was
Exactly.
completely different. That was completely different.
Samuel, can I ask you a
No, but
question?
Completely different to this one.
No, guys. Chelsea
Completely
fans.
different to this one.
Here's
The
to
seventh,
Chelsea
the
fans.
75th,
What I
75th minute.
keep
These
I
players are jogging around and they're losing 1-0 to Arsenal.
Bro, it's
so you
just a
think
There was
game.
no
Mendy would have
mentality,
changed
no
that?
leadership.
No,
This
but do you
stuff.
think Mendy would
You
have
should
changed
have
that?
never benched Kepa. That was
no.
it's
It's
not
guys.
reasonable.
I don't think it's about leadership. I think it's about consistency. What makes a player world class is for me is consistency. Like you even when a player has a bad game, world class player has effect on the game. You know, a lot of times I see with Chelsea, is you guys have really good players, but then you guys gonna have performances like this. It comes up like this, and it comes up more often than not. Like Christian Pulisic, fantastic player, but today he
I'd
had a
argue
bad
that that
game,
is not
and
necessarily true.
he had a lot. No,
Because
it's the facts, guys. Is a lot of the players you guys have good, very good players, quality players, but they're not consistent, especially your forward
on
line.
what basis are you arguing consistency? Because you're saying that
You act like this
three out.
happens once every five. You have to like this happens once every 3 games. It just
Yeah.
happened.
Damn, like
It was
Chelsea have
it was
lost
it's
two matches,
literally
and Chelsea have lost
come
two
on,
matches
bro.
in
Like
No,
seriously, man.
look, I
But
think
then
everything
this
Tuchel
happened
did
against
was right.
this
Exactly.
happened
For
against
Come
people
on,
to
man.
say
What
it
Southampton.
is
was
this?
it was
Like,
Whoa, wait,
come on,
One at a
bro.
time, guys. One
Yeah,
at a time.
guys,
we're trying
look,
to get off
this
top, man.
happened.
Yeah.
This can happen against
One at,
Southampton. Guess what? You guys drew 1-1 against Southampton. There was a disaster class against West Brom. This has happened this whole season.
okay.
The
That
reason
happens
why
to
Chelsea
every.
are not comfortably in
Yes,
the
sir.
top
same
That
thing
that
four.
happened
happens.
to Man
Yes,
No,
sir.
no,
City.
That
but then,
happens to
Happened
Same
every
three
happened to
team.
Man
times on the
City.
two show. What are you
but,
Same
talking
thing
about?
happened
What are you
to
talking
all the
about?
big teams,
but
really.
What are you
but
talking about?
my
I wouldn't say
point,
Size,
my
size,
consistent.
point,
We've
my
size,
been
point,
really consistent.
size.
my point.
Guy,
We've
one at
been,
a
No,
time.
been
no,
One
no,
at a time.
extremely consistent. Really.
We
guys,
just
guys.
lost three. We dropped
No, but
points
guys,
in
I'm
three
not.
games, and you're gonna say I don't understand.
No, we've been consistent.
But my
Yeah,
my
we.
my my point is not that these
I
players
wouldn't
are
say.
bad.
I wouldn't say.
You guys are hearing that I'm saying this. You guys have trash players. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you have quality players. But the most consistent
Mm-hmm.
thing under Tuchel was your defense. Your attack has
Mm-hmm.
not been consistent. That's a fact, guys. No Chelsea fan can argue with me and said that you guys don't need a goal scorer. That's a
Yes,
fact.
sir. Yes,
You
sir.
guys,
This has been a
the
constant
game
problem
ended.
throughout the
Now,
The,
just
ga-
let
season.
him
We do
finish.
not
Let him
the,
finish
finish.
ga-
Let him
goals.
the
finish.
game ended. Wait, guys. The game ended in 1-0. 1-0, and you
If
guys gave away the goal to Chelsea. I mean, to Arsenal. You guys couldn't
What's the
score a
point?
goal. That's the
What's your
problem with
point?
Chelsea. You guys need to. What
What's
I'm
your
saying is
point?
that a lot of times, what I see from Chelsea is that my point. I'm trying to get to my point, but you keep interrupting me. But
so,
my
is it
point is
code
that
red? No, no. You're
you
speaking
guys.
like it's code red. You're
A-
speaking like it's a.
Am I interrupt? I'm asking for your
I'm
point
not
because
saying
let
it's
you
called
guys
red,
let Yasa
Yo,
talk.
let him finish
Let
his
Yasa
point. Let him
talk. Let
finish
him
his
finish,
point.
guys.
but
Let him finish.
I'm not saying it's called red, guys. I'm not saying it. But then all I'm trying the point I'm trying to get to is that the foundation is set. Your defense is set. I agree with you guys. Zuma is a downgrade than Christensen. I get it. And Abdullah said that you guys need a center back, and I understand that. He's 100% right. But I also believe you guys need another defensive midfielder, and I also think you guys need a goal scorer, a person that in a game like this that can score you goals. You guys had Giroud today that hit the post. You guys had Zuma today that hit the post. You need someone that can one chance, one goal, boom, goal. I mean, a lot of play teams have that. You guys don't. And then you guys. I'm not saying that. I still believe you guys gonna beat Man City to the final in the Champions League. I think you guys gonna win the Champions League. I think you guys gonna win the FA Cup. But in terms of pushing on to next season to win the title and compete with Man City in the Premier League, that is what you guys need. You guys need more consistency from players, that especially your strike force. You need more consistency. And when I'm saying consistency, you guys need to score more goals.
Wait,
It's
yes,
simple as
sir.
that.
Yes, sir. When has our you said that our strike force will do really good one game and do really bad another? That's not been true. Throughout the season, it's been extremely consistent that our strike force missed chances, missed 3, 4 chances and score one goal. That wasn't the issue today. We made a lot of chances. Usually we would have scored. Okay, that's unlucky. On the defensive end, I would say there was a lack of leadership, a lack of communication.
But you keep saying the defense, but then the goal you guys conceded was a freak of nature.
No, no, yes, sir,
Jorginho
yes, sir, that's
passed
Said,
it back to
Said,
his
that's all
Said.
you
goalkeeper,
play.
and he,
Guys, no, hold on, guys. Let me explain something to you that you don't understand. I get what you're saying, but listen, this year we've been in terms of scoring goals and this we've been consistent because under one to check we've been creating chances, but the problem has been we've been missing chances, which I get very well. But I keep saying it again.
yes.
Tuchel himself already came out and said it. He made those changes and he regretted those changes he made because he expects this player he put on the pitch to perform. It's not about that we play very well. We've been saying it very well. Mount, Pulisic, and this they're scoring goals. But the problem is the players he put on the pitch today didn't even show up. The same thing as Man City too. We make changes against Man City, but we won the game. They didn't win. We won. But they make changes. The same thing
Abdullah,
happens today too.
Abdullah, the thing is that I agree with Yasa on one point that let's be real, there's a reason Tuchel rotates this much, especially that front four. Apart from Mount, and Mount, the only reason it doesn't rotate Mount is because Mount defensively and his pressing is on point. But the fact is that for Ziyech, Havertz, Werner, Hudson-Odoi, those guys have not been consistent. They've not been consistent goal scorers. I would say Werner has been a consistent assister, but scoring goals he has not been. So on that point, I do agree that in a way, that front three or that front four, they have not been consistent this season. Doesn't mean that the whole team hasn't been consistent. Just means some players, because if you look at it, it's hard to see a player that scores in Chelsea that scores in 2 games running. That means scores on this Premier League and then scores the next. We don't have that. Most of the time they score one and then maybe after 2 3 games they score another one. So that part is true.
Mm-hmm. I get that. I get what you said. So that's why we tend to clear the
Abdullah,
first
what I was
place.
trying to say, what I was trying
Mm-hmm.
to say, it wasn't necessarily that we're missing chances. It's not like one game we're really hot and we score all our chances. Another game, it's
Mm-hmm.
been consistent throughout the season that our strikers and our attacking players are really have a really poor conversion rate in front of goal. That wasn't
Mm-hmm.
the issue today, not necessarily, because even the issue was the lack of communication and the lack of leadership today
Mm-hmm.
on the pitch.
Because
75th minute, heads
mm-hmm.
down, jogging around the pitch,
But I'm
lethargic.
Samuel. Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
How many chances did Arsenal create today? Like the
Nothing.
actual.
None.
Nothing,
None.
nothing, man,
None.
nothing.
So
None.
so how was it a lack of leadership?
Yeah, no, it's a lack of leadership because even after we went down, especially in the second half, the way the players were jogging around without any conviction, that's a lack of leadership.
That's
Against
because you're
Yes,
Man
playing.
City,
Samuel.
we
I
against Man
understand
City,
that
we kept on trying, Abdullah,
But
and we
that's what
had a
happens
weaker team,
because
if
you're
you
playing Man
remember.
City. You're
because
playing
we are playing
against
Man
Man
City.
City.
We step up our game because it was Man City.
No, and
We
let's be
step
real,
up.
it's Man City. Man City don't pack the balls. This is
Don't
another
pack.
beast
Arsenal pack
entirely.
the ball. You
Arsenal
don't
did not
understand.
want to
They
go
didn't
out
want
to
to play.
Oh
play.
They
my
packed the
days, guys,
balls.
come
No, you
on.
Samuel,
guys
can
should
I?
think of
Samuel,
it.
Samuel,
I
No,
get
no,
what
because
you're
this
saying.
guy is saying it was the fact that we weren't taking our chances. We've done this throughout the whole season. That's not.
but that's
That's
Sam,
just
recent.
a
But
given.
Samuel.
but you didn't take
I
your
get
That's a
chances.
given.
You didn't take
Samuel.
your chances
We
though.
didn't
That's
see
the
That's a
today.
reason.
given.
I will tell
But
you
we're
something
still
today.
being successful.
No. Today, Kai Havertz was
We
1v1
still
with the
we all
goalkeeper. Wait. Kai Havertz was 1v1 with the goalkeeper today. He missed. So it's not about changing it.
missed.
Messi amount today saw a chances. He missed. It's not about Pulisic saw a chances today. He missed. Is that on Tuchel? No. It's on the
Giroud,
player. Giroud too.
Giroud,
That's a
Zuma.
Giroud
given.
too.
That's what I'm
So
trying to say. It's a
exactly, it
given.
was on the
So
players, not the
I wasn't
manager. Because
necessarily
now the
pointing
player
out.
put them on
Listen,
the manager put them on the pitch to play, but they fucked up. It wasn't the manager, it was the player.
Yeah,
Because I see him making those changes, I'm not angry because I completely understand because the players are not robots,
it,
they are human beings like us.
it happens. It
It
happens.
happens,
But
yes. We
It
just don't need
happens
to
in
get
football.
we don't
Let
need to get overhyped. Look, if teacher even knows it, he knows it that this changes will not occur anymore. He knows it won't happen anymore.
Samuel,
It
can I?
Abdullah,
happens.
but the point I
Listen,
was trying to get across was it
Mhm.
wasn't necessarily a lack of clinicality because this has been throughout the season. We all know this as
It's
Chelsea
all about
fans.
I get your leadership skills. Yes,
you're
that's why I
energetic.
said
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get why I said we miss
it's
Rudiger
right.
because like I said, Rudiger Christensen will not make that stupid ass mistake
I'm just saying,
Zuma made.
but we don't know that though. We're saying
No,
that in
no, 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 no.
hindsight. We don't know that
Oh
for a
my
fact.
days, man.
Let
We
me
don't
tell
know
you,
that.
Chimere, let me tell you.
Oh
Rudiger
my
Silva
days.
Christensen has been playing very well at that. They've elevated their game a lot.
No, I understand that.
Mendy being there, like I said, Mendy being there is a huge favor for us because it could has that leadership we want as a goalkeeper.
No, that's true. But
Because
even the
mhm,
best defenders and goalkeepers make mistakes.
make mistake,
So I'm
yes,
saying
I
it can.
know.
That's what I'm saying. This stuff happens. Like
Happens, yeah.
it doesn't mean it's a lack of leadership. It
exactly.
just happens.
It
Like
happens.
Yes.
like Samuel. Let
It's
me ask
And
you
let's be
something.
real.
exactly. It's just a
Samuel, let me ask
one-off
you something.
situation.
What is wrong with my point?
No,
No,
let
I
nobody's saying
said,
Chimera
anything's wrong with your
talk.
point. Like Samuel, let me ask you a question. Is the hair one of our best leaders? You say on our team, on Man U.
look, man, I'm not in a position to answer that.
Why are you not?
I'm
But
not
it's
in a
just a
position to
simple
answer
question. I'm asking your opinion. Do you think
because I
speak
don't
your mind?
know. I don't know.
I'm
I
just.
don't know.
I'm just saying. Like, but it's
I
just.
would think Dean. I would think Dean Henderson is a better leader in the box today.
Why would he be why would he be a better leader when De Gea was one of our captains?
He commands the box a lot better than De
No,
Gea does.
no, you're saying that on hindsight because Henderson's playing better, but De Gea is more of a leader.
Okay. Besides that,
What I'm
look, I'm
saying
not a
is
Man U
though,
fan, so I can't give you a
what I'm saying
valid.
is what I'm saying is that mistakes happen in football. Like I'm just saying that stuff. I don't think it's a lack of leadership. I think it just happened because
Chamari, so
Zuma's not comfortable on the ball.
do you know why I said a lack
Mhm.
of leadership?
That mistake was
Not
happening
only
because
because of that mistake.
Zuma's not
If
comfortable on the
Root,
ball.
You
yeah,
know this thing, Samuel.
I said
Are you
lack of
saying that
leadership. Yeah,
the players didn't perform to the level you felt they normally do? Is that what you're saying? Or are
look,
you saying that
what I'm
because you said they
saying,
were not running enough, they were lethargic, or do you mean like if the leader was
yeah,
there, he would tell them, come on, guys, we need to win this game and all that? Is
that's
that
what
what
I
you're
mean.
saying?
Yes, Yeah,
It
that
wasn't
as well.
wasn't Aspie
Not
there.
only the
The Quinton
mistake,
was there.
not only the mistake, also the guy who keeps everyone accountable. If Rudiger was on that pitch, that guy would be yelling at everyone, "Move your asses, let's get a goal." That's what I was trying to get
Yeah,
at.
It
I
wasn't
get you,
Aspie.
Samuel. I
But
get
then
It
where
again,
you
was
look,
say.
never
I
the
feel like
quality of the team, Abdullah, because
Yeah,
that
yeah,
team
yeah.
was really
no,
high
yeah,
quality.
that's what I
Mm-hmm.
know what you mean.
That's what we're saying. Yeah, I get your point. I get your point now. I get your like I said, we miss Rudiger, we also meet Mendy. Like people don't
Yeah,
understand. There's a difference between Mendy and Kepa. If you see that mistake, Zuma did that same mistake in the first half. That mistake will not happen in the second half because Mendy will shout at him. He's a vocal
nah, but
player.
Zuma always make mistakes
It
though.
made, yeah, I get what
They
I'm.
always make
But
mistakes.
in this match, Mendy will tell him, if you make that mistake again, I am the goalkeeper. You will put me under pressure.
Wait,
Nah,
did
He will be
anyone
nah.
watch
very
that
careful.
Man City match? Let's be real.
You
It
guys
was the
need to
referee
leave
that
Zuma
saved
alone,
Zuma.
man. Leave Zuma
It was
alone.
the
Okay,
referee that saved
okay,
Zuma
okay.
in the Man City
I
match.
don't want to cast Zuma, but let's be real. That even that Man City game, man, the moment Zuma was with the ball, I was always scared, man. Like
I'm
I'm
saying
not
like,
confident with that guy.
Zach, come on,
I mean,
man. Respect
I mean,
Zuma for that tackle, man.
No,
I
man.
think he's just going through it right now, man.
I mean,
I think
Zuma
he's just
can't
going
handle a
through
Because
it.
high
Zuma
press.
is a
Zuma
moment's
can't handle a
defender,
high
but
press.
he can switch off sometimes. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Zuma can't
No, let's
handle a
be
high
real. Are
press.
you confident when Zuma
Yeah,
is on
yeah,
the ball?
Samuel, he can
It's
switch off.
scary sometimes, man.
Sam,
I'm not
Sam,
confident.
look, he's not. Yeah, I'm not confident because he's not a ball playing defender. But
Exactly. That's the
Zuma,
only reason.
yeah,
When we had this
He's not
conversation and we're
confident
saying,
right
oh,
now.
Chelsea will get Marquinhos, and people were saying no, that I said out of the defenders we have, who would we trade for Marquinhos? And I'm like, it
Because
could be
Zuma.
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 It would be Zuma. And I have nothing
But
against him.
Sam,
He's a
here's the thing with
wonderful header.
Zuma.
Yeah.
The guy is a moment's defender, right? Like in moments, it's just his concentration levels. They
True.
drop some for
Right
some
word
reason.
there. His
He's
concentration
Yeah,
he's,
level is
he's
scary, man.
inconsistent. Yeah,
inconsistent. Yeah,
That's what I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Sure,
it's
that
like
Southampton one. I'll
Samuel is
watch
like
him.
it's like Maguire, Lindelof, Maguire, Eric Bailly. Eric Bailly is the best centre back in United, but because of his injury problem, they don't trust him that much. That's why they say Lindelof and Maguire doesn't work because Lindelof doesn't have the physique, the ability Eric Bailly possess in the United. That's what the problem is.
I don't know if I agree with
Abdullah,
Baye being. I
Abdullah,
don't think
but
Baye is the best. I don't think
No,
he's the
oh,
best.
I'm talking in terms of
Oh,
when they
physical,
play eye
physical,
layer, yeah,
physical. I
physical,
got you.
and
Yeah, I got you.
when you play eye line,
and
you
his
can
speed.
trust, and his speed, you can trust Bailly and Lindelof when they play
But
together.
I want to ask you guys a question about Jorginho because in a way
Mm-hmm.
I think it's right that we shouldn't focus too much on Zuma.
But
Jorginho
Jorginho,
is the
yeah,
one that
Yeah, he
do we
made a
feel that
mistake.
Jorginho has that problem too about
I'm saying,
concentration?
and Jorginho's the cap. Wasn't he? Isn't he the vice captain?
he's the
Is the
vice
vice
captain.
I'm
captain?
saying like,
Yeah.
yeah, this things happen.
No,
Like,
but does he have a concentration problem? Because whenever
No,
Jorginho plays bad, I remember that West Brom game we lost.
mm,
Jorginho was awful.
it
I
was
think he was
awful.
the
And
worst
Tuchel,
player.
I think Tuchel took him off. Right? Did he took him off? I think so.
but how did Jorginho become the vice captain though? Didn't he just come to Chelsea 2 years
Lampard
It's
gave
ago?
him.
Lampard. It's Lampard. It's Lampard.
No, it's because Jorginho is always telling people where to be. Is if you watch him actually, I can see why maybe he
Yeah,
does in
yeah,
game.
yeah.
You can see
Mm.
Jorginho always moving people, telling them, "Come on, come closer, go further." All that, like, and on that point, I do feel he's a leader.
Yeah,
Maybe not
Mhm.
vocally, but
Yes.
just during the
I
game,
mean, they're
in game,
different
he's
kind of
Samuel,
different.
leaders.
and also I agree with what you say in terms of Jorginho, but look at it. When Jorginho plays, Jorginho, when you have Kante, you have Zuma, you have Christensen, you have Rudiger, and you have Thiago Silva, Mendy. When Jorginho, you see those passes Jorginho give to Kepa today. If it was Mendy, he knows where to pass that ball. Mendy will not make that mistake because Mendy knows I'm getting that pass back. Because
Yeah,
Zuma should have
Sam.
been blamed for that ball because Zuma knows. Because I look at the videos again, there was Zuma in the
No,
right hand.
Abdullah, let's not blame Zuma for that.
No, I'm
Just
not blaming
on
Zuma.
Jorginho.
What I'm
Okay.
saying is, you see that pass that he gave back to Kepa. When immediately Kepa gave that ball to Zuma, should have just bully that ball out. Don't pass
yeah,
back
but like
again.
this, these things will happen because
It happened.
because the philosophy these days is playing out of defense
And yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
So all these things,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen in so many games. I'm like, just play it out, but people just pass it. Then people just steal the ball and score.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah,
I was
it's
Exactly.
part
watching,
of the whole pass
Yeah, it
playing out
happens.
the back,
It's part of
playing
the
out the
game
back.
now. It's
Yeah.
part of the
because
It's part
I
of
was
the
watching
game now.
Villarreal. I was watching
Sometimes it
Villarreal
will
versus
work.
Barcelona. I was watching Villarreal and Barcelona. This guy literally just passed the ball to Griezmann. Like the defender just passed the ball to Griezmann, and the
Mm-hmm.
Griezmann just scored. Like he gave Griezmann an assist. Like this stuff just happens, dude. I don't know why people are just consuming playing out of the back.
Tamari, after Jorginho did that abomination of whatever he did, man, I swear my heart broke. Damn.
I
Damn.
would have preferred it to be an own goal than even Kepa.
Same.
I wish Kepa left it.
Yeah.
Suspense, man. It was the hope that killed me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly, because then I was like, oh, it's no more a goal. And then Smith
Do you
was
think?
Okay.
there.
Do you
Somebody
think
has a
that?
question.
Do you
I have
think
a
that?
question for the panel. The panel gets my issue, but that's when I suggest to start to attacking play. Both of them has worked twice against Man City.
Yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Ziyech and Timo Werner.
No,
Yeah, but
Werner needed a rest. Let's be real. When was the last time Werner
Werner,
was
yes, he
getting
needed
Premier
the
League
rest. He needed the rest. He's
no, I'm
been
saying,
playing
But let's
so
be
well,
real,
so much.
guys. Was
No,
he
but
good against Man City?
he's asking. He's asking. No, but he's asking. Will they start the final? He's
yeah, they
asking. Will they
should.
start the final?
They
If they
should.
play
hundred
well against,
percent,
But
hundred
NK,
percent.
was Ziyech good against Man City? Because I think he wasn't.
I mean, he scored twice against them.
Yeah, and it should have. I think for me, Tuchel, and like I said, Tuchel already
Sambo, he's
admitted the
just
mistake.
there. He's just there, man.
Samuel,
He's just
Tuchel
there,
already
man.
said that. He said he made a mistake in the lineup. He said he took full responsibility for it already.
Yeah, but
He said it.
he has no choice to do. He has to
No,
do
no,
it.
Mm,
he has no. Here's the thing. Yeah, exactly. This is part being a manager, right? When it doesn't go
mhm.
your way, you're not gonna blame. Some managers might, but even then, it's right. You're not gonna go and blame the players. You're gonna take fault for it.
Francis Lam.
But really and truly, he's thinking these players should have got the job done. That's what he's really saying. But
Yeah,
of course, he's
that's why
gonna
I
say
picked
to
the
the
squad.
press and media,
Mm-hmm.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
what's
why.
it called? That he got it wrong. But even then, do you think Jorginho's play quality performance today was due to fatigue also? Because the
Yep.
guys
Mm-hmm.
played minutes now. Let's not act like he hasn't
He's
been
been
playing
playing so
minutes.
well, and
He's
Exactly.
played minutes as well.
Good
exactly.
Maybe
point. Good
And
point, man.
and
Good
mem
point.
Kitons,
exactly. Come on
I
now.
understand, but I think Tuchel also made a mistake. You know why I made mistake? Billy Gilmore was playing very well. He should have taken out Jorginho and leave Gilmore in.
Gilmore was playing
Yeah,
No,
but
beautiful.
the
he
thing
can't.
is
Gilmore,
that
Gilmore has technique,
in
guys.
that kind of situation, you can't leave a 19 or 20-year-old.
Yeah, because
It makes more sense to take the
Johanna's the
younger player
captain.
off.
Like,
Yes, I
Exactly.
understand, but I would take that risk gamble because Gilmore was having a better is having a better play than Jorginho because it was making that mistake.
When was the last time Jorginho was on the
It's been
bench?
long. Uh it's been long though since he was on bench though. So
Did
I
he play
yeah,
understand.
against
Because
Man
what's it
City?
called?
I mean, did he play against West Ham?
No. Yeah, I think he did. Did he came in on
Played
it?
against
Yeah,
He
he
West
played.
played
He played.
against West Ham. Since
He
Okay.
played.
Kovacic
Yeah.
has been injured, it actually affected him too because you can't really rest him
Yeah,
that much.
that's what I mean. I said this on the previous thing. Kovacic missing out is a huge problem, which is why talking about the Gilmore stuff, I think he should stay personally because of a situation like this. He'll have to get the minutes. But even then, like Jorginho would have played 45 because he didn't start the City game. He would have
Mm-hmm.
played 45, and this would have been his. Well, he played the full game, didn't he?
And I also blame. You know why I blame Tuchel also a little bit about it is Hakim Ziyech should have played because he played very well against Manchester City, and I think he
Abdullah,
should is in form. And when they came in today, we were seeing the difference. There were so many parts. There was a lot of creativity there. You can see there was creativity. Arsenal
exactly.
that was why Arsenal was packing the balls. Imagine Ziyech was playing in the first half. You
Yeah.
could see
but
those
Abdullah, let's
pinpoint
be
passes.
honest. Ziyech
I
didn't
think
play well against Man
no,
City.
Abdullah
No, no,
said
no.
form. That's why he said on form.
On form.
He corrected himself.
I
Ziyech may
correct
not
him
be
myself.
playing well, but
Maybe
he's on form. That
he's
means
on
he
form at the
scores
moment.
goals.
He's scoring goals.
Yeah,
So I
exactly.
expected him to play today, like those passes and everything. I get that.
No, but
Mhm.
this guy's Ziyech though. Like, let's be honest. Like I was saying, let's be honest about he was brought to be your Bruno Fernandez.
Yeah, it was. It
Like he
was.
was brought to be the guy to deliver the
I
creativity.
know.
If he was doing his job, then creativity wouldn't be an issue for this team.
Exactly. That's why I said. And like what I said, I love what Sam said. He will give him to next season before you judge him. He will give him to
That's
next
just
season.
not everyone is a Fernandez that will come in and
Yes,
just
exactly. He will
light
give him
it
to
up.
next season for us
That's
to judge him. Maybe if there's a better striker for the summer, then those creativity will increase and will increase well because now there's more striker who can just score those goals.
Boss, I have to ask
Mm-hmm.
if he was there um to be the creative player, shouldn't he be in the midfield? Because
Mm-hmm.
people are saying he should be on the right hand side, he should be playing out wide, but
Mm-hmm.
he should be
Because
in the midfield.
In Ajax, he was playing more as a number 10. It wasn't the right wing, it was as a number
Like
10 in
he
Ajax.
was mixed in Ajax. He'll play on the wing and
He's
on
a
the wing.
hybrid.
He's
He
an
was always
hybrid, yeah.
drifting to the left or
Drifting to
the
the
right.
left. Mm-hmm.
I think he almost had a free role in Ajax even,
Ajax, yeah.
because
Yeah, but
literally,
I'm saying, but if you play him in the middle and you put runners like Pulisic and Warner, I think he could create some chances. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. But in
Mm-hmm.
this Tuchel system, that's one thing Eric talked about the formation, is that it's very hard to put someone in the middle when um when you're playing this three at the back, because if you played like 4 defenders and you had more midfielders, you'd be able to put someone in the middle, put someone as a striker, and still put like one person each at the wing. So
You guys are
I
not
feel
talking
like
about something today in which I'm not happy about. Messi
I don't.
was abysmal today. It was abysmal. His corner kick was just shambolic. It was 1/10 today for me. His set piece and everything.
It's that time of the month,
Guys,
man. It's that time of
guys,
the
can we
month.
talk about the IQ of our players? Like Zuma's IQ. Did you see the pass he
let's not roast
Jorginho?
Zuma too much
No,
because
no,
I
no.
think
We've
Jorginho
spoken so
was
much about
like,
Zuma. I understand that,
yeah, I don't
but
want us to
let's
roast
talk
Oh, I
much
missed it.
about.
I missed it. I missed it.
Let's
I
talk
just
no,
want
much.
to.
but you can
I
say
just
your
want to say
point.
one thing. Yeah, he
Mhm.
could have passed it to Ben Chilwell, but
Yes.
he passed it to Jorginho
No, you
in
should
a
have
dangerous
passed
area.
it back to Ariza Balaga or Ben Chilwell. It's easy because Chilwell was calling for the ball. Chilwell was literally calling for the ball.
See,
Then he passed back again.
when you're centre back, you have to have high IQ. For me,
That's why I
Zuma.
say Rudiger will not make that mistake. Rudiger will pass to the nearest player. He
I
will
don't want to
pass.
be rude to Zuma, but I don't think he's going to be here next season. I'll be
I don't think so too.
surprised.
No, it depends on who is coming in.
It
If
depends
we're
on
going
who's
to get
coming.
someone better than Zuma, I'm all for it. But I don't just want us to get a
But
defender
I
just
feel
because we
sorry
want to
for
replace
Tuchel as
him.
well because he hasn't had much time to work on a second system because tomorrow they're going to go recovery and then they have to train and they don't have enough time this
Yeah.
season. They haven't had enough time to implement proper systems. So
I understand. I get that. I understand. Just about understanding how the stuff works. So I completely do understand. So
I really
yes,
want Marina to get him players with high IQ.
I IQ, yeah. Yeah, that will work though. That will work.
You say no, but the thing is, right?
Mhm.
This Zuma thing, man. Like, how many times in a game has a even Rudiger? Let's say he does that pass. How many times in a game does it all happen to be all right? This is just a one time where
One time,
it
yeah.
didn't.
No, but you don't put
People
your
are reading into that
you
way
don't
too
put your
much, man.
midfielder in danger when you know he's surrounded by
With
No, let's
with
defenders.
not
but
forget
you'll be
Rudiger scored
with
an own goal.
Jorginho.
I know.
Yeah, Jorginho.
So
They
mistakes
put
happen.
they put Jorginho. They put Jorginho in that situation many times a game. In fact, it was worse under Frank
Yeah,
Lampard anyway. Let's be
but
real. So it's just a one time that it didn't come off. But other than that, I don't think it's too much of a situation to look into. Like Jorginho made a mistake, yeah, but even then, like, come on now, like it's not. At the end of
imagine
the day,
if
we just lost the
we
game.
lose the FA Cup final and the Champions League final. I will cry. Nah, man,
I think that's
Don't
worth
worry, don't
right.
worry.
That's worth
that would
tears
be
if they do this on a final. I think it's worth some
no,
tears.
But imagine we lose on Saturday and then we lose on Tuesday. Oh my gosh, I will be
This is what
done
I'm
with this
saying,
team.
that people should
Please
understand
don't
that
relax.
we cannot
Relax.
celebrate. Like, I know a lot of people like what Tuchel is doing, and I do the same thing too, but we cannot start celebrating when
For me,
we're not
I
finished
feel like
yet.
he's overachieving with the squad.
I
I
don't
didn't
think
expect
so.
us to
Chelsea
be.
will bounce
I
back.
completely agree with you.
Guys,
I completely
I
agree.
completely agree. Yeah.
I feel like he needs
Same,
pieces
yeah.
in the squad, man.
You need pieces. So before I go to the pieces you needed and everything, how you guys? Let me come to I think Blue Eyes. Give me your take on this, man. Because if we wasted Rudiger, I have wasted Jorginho and I've wasted Ariza. I did not even waste Balaga because Ariza Balaga did not make it today. He did not make any mistake. It was.
Have you seen on Blue Fans TV that they're blaming Kepa?
It wasn't. I don't.
They're
See,
blaming Kepa.
that's why I do see. I don't turn up to some ridiculous YouTuber stuff. I don't like
No,
it.
but that's the big. That's
It,
like
it gave me.
that's the big
Sometimes it gave me
Chelsea
headache.
channel.
It gave me headache. I don't like. I do not turn in that because when you
But
make
that's the big Chelsea
comparison,
channel.
yes, when you make comparison, people call you racist and everything. I don't want to have a conversation about that because it's gonna make my head swell up. I don't want that at the moment.
No, but should I tell you something? Those
Mhm.
guys on there took everything back for what they were saying about Jorginho a couple of years ago. That's why they haven't blamed Jorginho in that incident.
No, we blame Jorginho for this match because we saw it.
No,
Jorginho
I'm
make
not
them.
talking about you guys. I'm talking about the people on Blue Fans TV.
Exactly.
They are.
Yeah, they have. So Blue Eyes, give me your take on today's match.
Is Blue Eyes here? Isn't that Emmy or?
Oh, sorry, Emmy. Give me your take on today's match because I have wasted Zuma. Like Aki said, if Edward Mendy was playing that match, I know Jorginho will make those passes, but Mendy understand that Mr. Jorginho is gonna make that pass. He will put it. And before Zuma make that pass, there was Ben Chilwell beside you. give Ben Chilwell that pass. Why are you passing back
Yep.
to Jorginho again?
Mhm.
Chilwell was beside.
Yeah.
He was beside you. He was waiting beside you. He was even calling for the ball. Why don't you pass? You saw him. It's not that you didn't see him. You saw him. I don't know why he's making that stupid decision and making that stupid error.
Yeah, I see. Zuma, I'm a big advocate of Zuma. I know a lot of people give him stick because some people like say, oh, he's not very good with his feet. He looks down while he passes. Um, Today, yeah, when I first watched it, I was like, what's Jorginho doing? But actually, when I watched it again, I found out what actually happened. So Zuma's outlet was Ben Chilwell. In front of Zuma, that's on the right, on the left, sorry. In front of Zuma, what's his name? Gilmore.
Mm-hmm.
Beside Zuma, there was really nobody. But guess what? After he passed the ball to Jorginho got pressed, right? Someone blocked Jorginho from turning, right?
Mm-hmm.
All Zuma needed to do was Kepa even open for Zuma at the back.
To pass. Exactly.
At
It
the
was
back.
give me that ball, give me that ball.
Pass the ball back to Kepa or put the ball away to the stand.
Simple thing. Basic thing.
Zuma does not have a left foot, right? And if you analyze that very well, you see that the ball got stuck under his leg, and he could not figure out, quickly how to get the ball from under his leg and pass the ball forward to either Chilwell or to Gilmore.
Can I just cut in that quickly? Isn't Zuma your second best centre back, just behind Thiago Silva?
No.
Excuse me?
Current form, please. No,
I
not
don't
current
think
form.
that's too wild to say.
He's
I don't think that's
trolling.
too wild to say.
He's
I
trolling.
think
I don't think that's too wild to
It's
say.
a question. It's not
I
a
don't
statement.
no.
think that's
Under Tuchel is not.
Rudiger,
No,
Christians.
he's not under Tuchel because of the system we play.
Yeah, under
We play three at the
Tuchel,
back.
under Tuchel, no. Yeah, under Tuchel, no.
Yeah, because Zuma is not a three at the back kind of centre half.
No, the thing is, the
he's
person who
better.
asked the question, if they watch Chelsea games, they would know that Zuma doesn't even play. So your
It
best
doesn't.
centre back.
Yeah, it doesn't play
Why isn't it playing?
because
Yeah.
that Man City match. Zuma, it almost make me show. I wanted to enter that TV and go give him a slap. Why are you making this stupid
Yeah.
shit?
I think
Exactly.
I'm sorry,
Right, he
but
saved
I think Zuma is done. Man, it's gonna be difficult now because guess
Such a
what?
good defender.
One thing
He
about
just-
Tuchel is he took the blame today, right?
Yeah, he
Tuchel
took
took
the
the
blame
blame, but he will go back and analyze. I know Tuchel, he will not be a madman, right? He likes
So
ball.
who's
He will go
who's
back
your-
and analyze the whole play and see what happened in his structure because his structure worked, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was Chilwell on the line, there was Gilmore in front. Kepa came out and actually made himself available, but
Yes.
Zuma just would not pass the ball to the three options. Instead,
Exactly.
he passed to who was under pressure, who was Jorginho, and Jorginho passed the ball back to him. And guess what? He passed the ball again back to Jorginho. And Jorginho was like, okay, guess what? Jorginho knew that turn on his left, so he could not turn.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Exactly.
He could not turn. Right? So the only option he had was to pass back to Kepa, and of course, Kepa. Yeah, and Kepa was without blame because it was not supposed to go that way. All these things are patterns that they worked on the training pitch, and the passing pattern broke down under Zuma because Zuma would have progressed the ball with his leg, with his left leg if he had a left leg. So yeah, so it's today's game, I won't lie, and all my friends, all of you, I swear, I was at some point, I was just like, this is not good because after beating us twice in a season where we might end up.
That is why I am literally pissed off and hungry because this player needs to understand something. Said was talking about consistency. I get that, but I keep saying it. Mendy Silva, Rudiger, Christensen has been our best defender under Tuchel. Mendy, see, this is the difference between Mendy and Arrizabalaga. Mendy will shout. I've seen him do that. I watch Chelsea. I've seen him do it. He even do it to Thiago Silva. If they are playing bad, Mendy will come out and shout, "Why are you doing this stupid rubbish? Don't put me on pressure. Put that ball out. Don't pass the ball to me anymore. Don't put me on pressure. I'm the goalkeeper. Don't put me on pressure." Mendy does it. I've seen him does it. He shout a lot. The Madrid match, when Benzema was free with the free heading, Mendy literally shouted on Thiago Silva, the central back, and Rudiger for them to come back with the Benzema heading. He was telling them that, why are you guys doing this? You want to put me on pressure? What's going on?
Mendy can't.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mendy needs to take Mendy needs to take responsibility. He's not expected that the defenders are going to defend him. He's just going to sit in the goal and do nothing and just watch and let the defenders in front of him do his dirty work for him.
Exactly.
He needs to be ready at all times. I'm not saying he's to blame for the goals conceded. Everyone has a responsibility in a defense. Whether you play, whether it's Arsenal, City, United, or anyone. Your goalkeeper has much. You can't just relax and just stand in the goal when start shouting and saying, "Oh, why weren't you there?" Everyone has equal responsibility.
I get that. Abs, I get it. I completely agree with everything you said. I'm not even disputing. But what I'm saying is the difference between Arrizabalaga and Mendy is Arrizabalaga is a goalkeeper. It doesn't have that courage Mendy has because we know Silva is an experienced centre back. Rudiger is someone like is vocal, he can talk. So you need a goalkeeper who like when those defenders make mistakes, you have a goalkeeper you can toss and say, we can't make this mistake. This thing needs to stop. Because when you watch Mendy keep as a goalkeeper, I know it's not that good on his feet, but when you watch him keep as a goalkeeper, you know this guy, he has commanding factor in him. He has a commanding factor in him than Arrizabalaga. He has commanding factor in him.
And that's why if you notice he doesn't concede he doesn't concede those goals, right? Because he can see danger. He sees danger. He can see like today, Arsenal pressed us like how that club we played, I think it was second round of the FA Cup, one League One club.
Yeah. I remember. Is it Barnsley?
Is it Barnsley? Yeah, Barnsley. Yeah, they pressed us. We played them twice. We played them in the League Cup where
and the Carabao Cup
and the Carabao
Cup.
Yeah, that's the Carabao Cup. Yeah, but when we played them in the FA Cup,
they pressed us like mad.
They pressed us non-stop. So I think it was the same tactics that Arteta employed today against us. He did not even allow Jorginho or Gilmore, and today Gilmore's experience actually showed, right? Because if it was Kovacic will find space. He would drag those pressing guys to places they don't want to go to, right? And he will make sure that he frees up either himself or he frees up Jorginho. But someone will be able to actually pick up that pass from the center half. Then also we talk about the center half. Zuma was the weak link, and every time Zuma got the ball, they pressed on that side.
They're pressing,
They pressed on that side. They didn't press on Ashley's side. They pressed every time we got that ball on Zuma's side because they knew he doesn't have a left leg, right? And he has to get the ball to distance to actually be able to clear it. Normally, we launch also very key for our play is we launch our attack from that left center back for using Rudiger, right? Rudiger actually lobs that ball to either the right wing back or the right forward to create that that penetration in the defense line. Today those balls did not come. Those balls were not there. Like even if Zuma tried, it was not as efficient and it was not as timely as Rudiger, right? So we missed a lot of parts of our play today. I won't lose sleep for today though because we didn't have Kante. We didn't have Kante in the midfield. We didn't have Rudiger in defense. I know we're missing Christensen, but something today about the front three. I don't know if it was only me, but something was off today. There was no Timo Werner.
No pace, no.
Yeah, we could tell. I could tell today that Timo Werner is very important for all the games that we played this season.
Yes, people may say he missed chances, but Arsenal were playing high line, and then was when you need Timo Werner to thrive in because
There was nobody that gave. There was no Chelsea forward player that gave. Yeah, go ahead.
So, Abdullah, you said I think Arsenal were playing a very low line, or at least mid block, because I don't know if Werner would have worked.
No. In the first half, Arsenal in the first half, Arsenal were open up. They were opening because Timo Werner they were playing high line. Even the commentator said it that the commentator was like, "Wow, I can't believe Timo Werner didn't play this match."
But we still made a lot of chances. So
I agree.
That Havertz Mount that Pulisic saying was working. I don't know.
Man, you can't say
I think we just were clinical.
How is it working if they don't score a goal?
Arsenal did.
They made chances though. A lot of chances.
Wasn't a lot, man. Would you call today's game a lot of chances?
Let me come to Ramsky. How you doing, brother? Can you hear us?
I'm doing good, man. How are you, Abdullah?
I'm good. Yeah, we've been talking so many well about the Arsenal match. I wasn't that much angry like I was around the Christmas last year. To this match, I understand why these changes have. Even the manager himself came out and said it. I made a mistake in changing those formations myself. Like I should have just trusted some players more than some players, which I get, which I understand myself. So we know he does that. And he said it. I take full responsibility. And he also said something that key point. The players on the pitch have to perform no matter what I choose. They have to go there and perform. That is what my problem as a fan is. I understand what is going on. But you play Pulisic, Kai Havertz, Mason, Thiago Silva, Zuma, you guys have to go there and perform. Go out there and perform. So give me the overall take in this match.
Honestly, I haven't said anything because I agree with what everyone is saying mostly. I think Arsenal were there for the taking, especially in the first half. I mean, I'm looking at the Premier League table, though, and this isn't the end of the world. Like, you still have 6 points above West Ham. You know, this game could be a problematic.
Thank you.
But it's not the end of the world, you know what I mean? And I guess there's one argument that Tuchel doesn't want to give too much away until the Champions League final. But on the flip side, you have to play consistent, good football going into the final. Otherwise, it's going to be a disaster, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can see why people are frustrated. But I think I wouldn't be too worried as a Chelsea fan.
Exactly, I get that. But in terms of your say with Zuma and Jorginho and Arrizabalaga take, what's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, what can you say, man? I mean, what can you say? Like these are silly mistakes. You can't be making these kind of errors in a big game. Otherwise, you get punished, even by a team like Arsenal that are mid-table. No offense to any Arsenal fans that are watching, but they'll take their chances. And Arsenal were there for the taking. Like you don't have to play Werner in this kind of game. Like I think what you had on the pitch was enough to beat Arsenal. My personal opinion. So, the silly mistakes, you can't go into the final doing this. But again, don't be too worried.
Yeah, I understand. Yes, exactly.
Didn't Arsenal do this last season?
Tomorrow.
Didn't they do this last season?
Arsenal are the kings of meaningless games. That's what they're kings of.
You know, United.
They do this all the time, man.
They do it to United too. Yeah, meaningless game. They do it all the time.
No, but you know the thing, Ramsky, I totally agree with what he said. I will be cooler tomorrow if United actually beat Liverpool. If they can do that job, it would be amazing because then it would just because Liverpool, if they win their 2
it would just be between and West Ham.
Yeah. Right.
Which I believe they will do because United have that mentality. Even if they go 1 down, they will come back. They have that mentality of doing it.
No, you know my problem with United. Anytime I want them to win, they lose. Anytime I'm like,
exactly. We just pray and hope tomorrow they turn up and win.
But Ole has a good record against Klopp, doesn't he?
Yeah, he doesn't have a bad one though. He's lost games, but he's also won games. But in the league, I don't think they've beaten Liverpool. I don't think Ole has beaten Liverpool in the league.
I can look it up.
I think in the FA Cup he did, but not the league.
Has it done in the league? I'm not sure.
They've drawn like 2 games, but not 1.
They drew in the
Yeah,
league.
they drew
Yeah.
too, but
Okay, so head to head, Solskjaer has 1 win, Klopp has 1 win, and there's 3 draws between them.
yeah. And the one win from Solskjaer, can you check? It's the FA Cup, right?
This is a strictly Premier League head to head.
Oh, okay. That's good
Yeah.
then. That's good.
That's good. So I want to talk about somebody. There's some news rumbling around this morning, and when I woke up, I was like, can it happen? I didn't think it will happen. Marco Verratti to Chelsea. Apparently, Tuchel has already informed the board that told them he wants Marco Verratti in his squad for next season. And I'm hearing PSG are gonna go for Eduardo Camavinga and Locatelli of Sassuolo. So does that shows of maybe that's like Verratti replacement, or you don't see it happening? Eric, Marco Verratti.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I want Verratti, but like he's too similar to somebody like Kovacic. He's a very similar player. He has a zero end product, zero um, goal threat. I don't know if I want him, but if Tuchel wants him, then I can't really complain. That's the most important thing. But I saw HH's tweet on Twitter. Verratti and Kante would be an interesting partnership, but yeah, I'm not too excited about it personally. I think
But Eric, who would you want instead in that position?
ooh I can't say anyone right now. Honestly,
That's the
I
thing. I
don't
think
know.
that's the
I don't
biggest
know who.
problem. There are no players
You know
anymore, man.
what? The only one I could
It's
have
so
said is
hard.
maybe Pogba.
Oh, okay. That's true though. That would be amazing.
That'd be amazing. Sam, your take on the Marco Verratti?
Yeah, what Eric said is spot on. I think maybe he has a little bit more quality when it comes to key passes than Kovacic.
Kovacic, yeah.
Apart from that, they're very similar, very, very similar. And I know there's another thing. I'm not saying he couldn't make it work in the Premier League, but against Burnley, against Brighton that have
He
giant
won't. Yeah,
midfielders, and
yeah,
I think he might struggle a little bit
yeah.
because sometimes we get confused with Champions League. And I know Champions League you're playing high quality, but another thing about Premier League is playing. Even let's look at Jorginho. Jorginho is just settling in after his third season.
Third season, yeah.
Like people need to remember that his first 2 seasons were okay.
It wasn't
Sometimes
that. Yep, it wasn't that kind of
he
Jorginho we
was
know.
Let's not forget
suspect.
Verratti's very injury prone. He's had a consistent
Yeah.
ankle, several injuries.
Injury problem, yeah.
Yeah, so it's
I didn't even know that, but
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
he's
an injury
very
problem.
injury. He's out for at least 3 months a season in the last 4 to 5 years.
That's
So
bad.
it's,
That's
it's
bad. That's
Is
bad.
this a
yeah.
genuine rumor?
Yeah, it's a genuine rumor.
yeah, I saw it too. I saw it
You
too,
see,
It's a
and
genuine rumor.
if a
it's like
player,
Tuchel.
yeah,
When Tuchel wants players, he
Abdullah, can
really
I
goes
talk
for
on Verratti?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so I'm hearing rumors about us getting PSG players, and I think this is just the media. To be honest, I can't believe people actually believe this. Neymar just signed a new deal. Mbappe is set to sign a new deal. This would be inconvenient for a PSG project. Camavinga would not replace Verratti. Camavinga is not ready to play even in a top six club, let alone PSG. So
He's 18 years
look,
old.
I'm just
Mhm.
yeah. So I don't know how people are buying this. This is just the media, man. Marquinhos, Verratti, they're not leaving. They're not leaving. Just accept that it's the truth. PSG still have ambitions. They're not trying to rebuild. They're trying to add to their project. So yeah, this is never going to happen. I'm just going to make that clear.
Emmy,
Both Marquinhos and
Marco Verratti to Chelsea.
Yeah, the thing just to add to what Samuel said, I agree with what Samuel said. I think Emmy is not there. Emmy, are you there?
Oh,
No, I don't think he's there. Yeah, I agree with what Samuel says. It's very suspicious that it's PSG and he just came from PSG. It's just sometimes like the way Varane wants to live. Sometimes some players maybe want a new league. They want change. So sometimes that can influence a player
influence.
leaving a club. But I agree that 100, like I would say 100%, but 90%, I don't think they would want to leave. But there's always a
yeah, then,
chance.
yeah.
Emmy, Marco Verratti.
Yeah. Well, I think everybody has said this, everything about Marco. Marco Verratti, yeah, the Premier League is gonna be too hard for Marco Verratti. I don't think he's gonna be able to cope. It's a tough league, very physical. He's not very big. Yeah, I think also he cannot shoot. I don't see him shoot from outside the box. I think any midfielder we're going for should be someone that can shoot from outside the box, just in case there is no keeper to make. Right? I don't know whether he can actually do that. And I think that's why I'll just answer what everybody has said.
Yeah, a midfielder that I would have liked, a midfielder that I wanted at Chelsea for a while was Pogba. But obviously that's not happening. So
It'll never happen.
No, but
yeah.
I 100% agree with you. Pogba is the kind of profile of midfielder we need. 100%.
What about Ndombele?
Yeah, and Ndombele goal scoring. How good is he? I don't think
He's pretty good, man.
You know Danny's not going to
he's
sell him to
decent
us,
at
right?
goal scoring. He's decent. Like he doesn't score often, but when he does, it's a world class goal.
Yeah.
The person
But I'm saying
Come on.
Ndombele because Pogba. Let's be honest, guys. It'll never happen. He's not gonna go from United to Chelsea. But in Ndombele, the thing about Ndombele, he's not happy at Spurs, and I'm sure he would want to stay in the London area. So Chelsea could try something.
But Daniel Levy, it will not happen. And
No,
we
but
never do
This
it.
might be unpopular. What about this guy, Hosam Hua?
He's injury
I
prone.
said it. I
He's
mean,
injury prone.
can I just say something about Hassan War? If you're getting a player that could potentially be worth 80 million in like 2 seasons for 25 million, why wouldn't you take the risk?
No chance.
Why
He,
wouldn't you?
he hasn't been the same since the injury.
Yeah,
I've
exactly.
heard from a lot of people that watch the French league. He's not.
I think Hosam Aouar is
Oh, he had an injury.
Oh, okay. What about Jude Bellingham?
No,
Yo,
he's too young.
Jude Bellingham is a shout.
What about
Jude
Jude
Bellingham
Bellingham?
is a shout.
He's a
Isn't he too
defensive.
young?
But the thing about Jude Bellingham is so many top clubs have their eye on him. It'll be very difficult, especially at this age. And
Yeah, he's
Dortmund,
also-
they appointed a new coach, and they're trying to get top. They're trying to win something next season. So because they're keeping Holland apparently in the summer, so I doubt they would let him go.
he's also
so-
he's too young. He's too young.
He's too young. So, Ryan, give me your take on the Marco Verratti to Chelsea.
Look, man, Mark, I agree with what everyone's saying about the physicality, but I don't necessarily agree with what I'm about to say. But this is the counter argument. Some people would say that he started his career at Pescara, which is in the Serie B, actually, technically. So I'm sure he's used to some physicality. But then on the flip side of that, he moved to PSG in 2012. So he's played consistently 9 years in Ligue 1, different kind of pace. But guys, Ligue 1 is a brutish league. It's very physical. That's not my issue with Verratti. I think he could fit in the Premier League. My problem again is the injuries and the kind of profile of player that Chelsea need. It's not Verratti. Like for instance, guys, Thiago is a great player, but that's not what Liverpool needed. You know what I mean? It's just not a fit. It doesn't fit the puzzle. So that's my problem. I think the guys that were saying that you need a Pogba kind of profile, I totally agree. But the problem is there's not many players like that in world football. So
Wow. Fair enough. So let me come to the Chelsea boys now. Where exactly do we need to improve coming next season?
are you asking me, Abdullah?
No, I want to come to the Chelsea boys now. Eric, where do we need to improve in the coming season? Striker forward, because apparently, I don't want to believe it, but Fabrizio Romano already tweeted it out, and I believe what Fabrizio said because he's a very legit and a trustworthy resource. He said it. If Chelsea pay 120 million euro for Romelu Lukaku, he will leave Inter Milan. He's gonna go. Inter will give him the green light to leave here and join Chelsea. If Chelsea can pay up to 120 million for Romelu Lukaku.
Look, I know people have issues with Lukaku, but I wouldn't be upset with Lukaku. I like him, and I think he would help us. I think he would definitely improve the team. He would take some of the chances that the other players are missing. So I would definitely be. Well, it depends on the price as well. If it's anything
120,
like
120, 120.
no, 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 no chance, no chance. It's too much. It's way too much money, and I don't even think they can. like, they can be real. They can be serious.
There's
You
Fabrizio
know,
tweeted it out. 120. Inter Milan
yes,
because Inter Milan are broke. They need money.
yeah,
So they will
obviously.
go.
So they can't be serious. Like you only say that kind of stuff when you just don't want to sell. That's what that means. They don't want to sell because he's not good enough to demand a price like that. So yeah, he's not. We can't even look at him for that kind of money. We have to just think about somebody else, maybe a younger striker.
Oh,
Some
Alan will not leave. I'm sorry,
yeah,
Alan
yeah.
will not go.
Somebody else.
Harry
Someone else.
Kane, that will not 1,000% it will not happen.
No chance. No
That's
chance.
no chance. Harry Kane is a game is a no-brainer. It's game over for him.
Abdullahi, the top two targets for striker are now for Chelsea, Lukaku and Kane.
And Kane, yeah.
Haaland's no longer.
Yeah, Kane,
Haaland's no
I don't
longer
think
an
it's gonna
option for them.
happen. I don't think Kane
And
is
and
gonna
and
happen. I'm
and,
sorry.
and on Haaland, I'm from like credible people who are closely connected with City, is that
Mhm.
like City sources is that Haaland wants to come to City, and that we want him. It's just all about if Dortmund want to sell and if it's and all about the money right now. Just to let you know.
Oh,
That's the situation.
fair enough. Sam, other than 20 million, Romelu Lukaku, does it worth that money or it's too much for him? It just clocked 28 last month.
No, the thing is, my fear with even, I don't think like, see, if Lukaku will bag the kind of goals he's scoring for Inter,
Inter Milan. Mm-hmm.
I think it's worth it. But my problem is, I don't think he might be able to do that. Just like, I feel the pressure of that price tag might get to Lukaku number one, and but if it's about the quality of the player, I have no argument. Lukaku plays good football. He's he's been scoring goals for Premier League clubs, and he's the profile of striker that I don't know if he's even the profile of striker we need, because like I see him good at counter attacks, but sometimes this, except Tuchel will change his system and it won't be this fluid and maybe more. You have your target man who is going to, because we're seeing even with like Guardiola,
Yeah,
like I'm not. I think this managers they're switching to this whole maybe not the main target man, just
false
having
nine kind of.
yeah, false nine kind of thing. Because if you have players that can do that very well, your attack is going to be extremely fluid, and you have everyone just interchanging, which when it works well, it's beautiful to watch. Because
Mm-hmm.
I think the where you see this false nine working well is against when Chelsea played Crystal Palace. I think that was because you could see the positions Havertz was taking. He wasn't taking the regular striker's position. It was just like the first goal, he was at the right. The second assist he gave to Pulisic was at the left. Given
Mm-hmm.
Pulisic was more in the middle. So I think Lukaku is, if he can replicate what he does, I think it's worth it. I don't think they will buy him for that kind of amount though, just because of his age and the fact that you won't have a resale value and you're not 100% sure the striker will deliver. Maybe if it was Romanov without Champions League and all that, which he did for Torres, he would have done this, but I doubt he will go for Lukaku.
Because based on Fabrizio said Inter Milan are booked that they need money. They'll probably get something like 100 and above for Lukaku. That if they get 100, they will release him. They'll give him the green light to leave. Romelu Lukaku.
Well, that's the thing, and even Lukaku, he would have to change his system. So that's the only advantage I have with Haaland is that Haaland is young. If you start teaching him a new system, he can learn it,
Mm-hmm.
can develop in that system. He will see the project as a little bit longer. But for me, the number one would be Harry Kane. I think
I don't think Tottenham will call
no,
Harry Kane
Abdullah,
because
Abdullah.
Harry.
We don't even, we're not sure Chelsea can get Lukaku too. But if I could pick,
Mm-hmm.
would be Harry Kane, just because I think Harry Kane is basically a
The what we
target
need,
man,
yes.
and
But
also he can
Daniel
put
Levy,
balls.
Daniel Levy is the problem with Harry Kane. Daniel
I
Levy is the
know.
key.
I totally agree with you. I can never forget Modric transfer where
I
he
won't forget that.
stopped. I can never too, man. I was heartbroken when he stopped Modric from joining Chelsea.
Can I
But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
can I ask a
that's
quick can I ask a
Go.
quick question?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
How many How many Spurs players have moved to Chelsea from
None,
Spurs?
none, 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 none.
That's the thing. I know it's not possible, but if I could pick a player to join out of all these strikers, Haaland,
It will be Harry
Lukaku,
Kane.
Harry Kane, it would be that guy. Just because experience of Premier League, and I see what he's doing for Tottenham, man, it would fit perfectly to this system. Yeah, I can imagine a Harry Kane with Werner and Mount, or even Werner and Pulisic. It would be deadly. But yeah, Tottenham won't sell. And if they would sell, I think it would be like 150. Would have to basically just, I
Share
don't
the
know, give
bank,
them some
share the
out.
bank, and give them.
Exactly, exactly.
Chimere, Romelu Lukaku to Chelsea.
I think it's a good move, or is that the question?
Yeah, apparently, according to Fabrizio, I think Inter Milan will get on something like 100 million and above for Lukaku because they need to sell. They are in financial problem and they would love to sell.
Nah, I think going for 100 and something for a player at his age, I don't think that's a good investment. Because I mean, he's getting into his peak. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna pay 100 million for a player, you're gonna have to buy it for a player who's not at his peak. You know what I mean? But has the potential to be like a superstar. I'm paying 100 million for somebody, like, because when we bought Pogba for 100 million, he was like 23. You know what I'm saying? That kind of age. Lukaku's like 27, 28. You know, so and the thing with Lukaku is, what system are you guys gonna play?
Back four.
Because he
I
works
think
best
in
in
the
a
back.
two-striker system.
I think Tuchel wants to play 4-2-2 next year.
So he wants to play with two strikers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I think 120. I don't even think Chelsea need a striker, but I think I don't think spending 100 and something on Lukaku is a good deal. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe there's other players like Aguero's free.
Like,
Luis Suarez might leave Atletico this year. You know what I'm saying? There's better
no,
options. And then you can invest in
no,
the whole squad
You
instead
can't
of
you can't mention
Suarez.
Aguero, man. Sorry, Aguero is done.
no.
no. I'm
Aguero is
saying
done. Aguero is
He's
no.
done. It's over.
I'm
No,
saying
no,
we
no.
don't
But
know. We don't know that though. He's been injured the
no,
whole season.
and I
We don't
think
know that.
Timmer has a point in the way that Aguero number one, you wouldn't pay that high amount, and maybe you could get more than what you would pay for him, and maybe it's more like time wasting to get someone to fill.
Aguero
I
would
watch.
want
Yeah,
200k plus. Aguero would
yeah.
want
I watch
200k
Aguero.
plus.
I watch Aguero on Saturday. Right. I know people will say he's just coming from injury, all that stuff, but he didn't. He didn't have that. He didn't have that sharpness anymore, though.
Because he hasn't been. He's been injured. He hasn't been playing.
Wait,
He's
but did
not.
you see Aguero's goal against
He needs
Crystal
a run of
Palace?
games.
Let's
He
not
needs a
let's
run of
not
games.
let's not judge him off one game. His goal
Yeah.
against Crystal Palace was
That's
crazy though.
what I'm saying. Like I don't think you should spend 120 something on a striker because
But
let's.
but you know one thing, right? The way Tuchel wants to play, he wants his striker to be the first line of press, right? So Aguero, the reason why Pep is letting him go is because he cannot do that, for 90 minutes, right? And are we going to take Aguero and change the way we play? Is the benefits more than the cost?
That's a good point though.
Yeah, that's true though. But like
Yeah.
Lukaku, bro, the thing with me is like you're gonna spend 120 for somebody who's 27, 28. That's not a good investment. Because striker,
Yeah,
just getting a striker, Chelsea needs more than a striker. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
you need to break the money up. Like maybe find a striker that's like 50, 60. Then go get
Yeah,
other areas in the squad. You need a complete team to win titles.
And
even
You
in
know,
the
that whole
comments,
thing
someone
with
said
yeah.
Kelechi Iheanacho. Someone said Iheanacho in the comments.
no,
No, he's not good
because
enough, man.
he's
Sorry,
not worth it because he's 60. He's gonna be
he's not.
65
He's
million.
not
He's
good
not that
enough.
kind of striker where it's like because honestly, this left at Leicester, he's banging in goals. We don't know. It might be a fluke because he hasn't done it consistently. And for us to give him for him to command that respect to the point, it's like okay, Kelechi, we know who scores 20 goals a season. You know what I mean? He hasn't
Yeah,
commanded that respect yet to pay for him. So Lukaku, I'll rate Lukaku if you can get the price down. But 120 now, nah, you better just buying other guys because you better just get other guys and just spread the goals out between the team. You
yeah.
know,
To
What about
emphasize this whole
Lukaku's mate? What about Lukaku's mate, Martinez?
Lautaro.
nah,
Lautaro?
No, he
he
only
ain't.
plays on the two striker system.
Yeah,
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 he only
Lautaro
plays
ain't
the
it.
two striker.
Guys, if you get Lukaku, you'll get him not for the price that Inter want. You will, as long as, don't worry, you've got Roman's mistress who will talk down his.
Oh my gosh,
Talk down his
What?
Nah,
Why are you guys sexualizing
oh
Roman?
man, come on, man.
Don't worry, you've got Roman's mistress who will talk down the price for Lukaku if you get him. So you won't be spending more than 100 million.
Yeah, but can I ask you,
Abdullah, can I be on? Can I come clear? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to
Look,
ask Abdullah, does he think Lukaku is for the system? Does he think he's good for a Chelsea system?
The way Tuchel play, I'm a little bit skeptical a little bit about Romelu Lukaku because
he's better in counter-attack.
I'm skeptical a little bit about Romelu Lukaku because we hold on to the ball too much and we're a possession-based football, a possession-based team. Sorry. So do I trust Lukaku? Yes, Lukaku will make the runs. He loves to play in the shoulder of a defender. I understand that. My problem is, do I trust Lukaku that much? Kind of being clinical. I'm a little bit suspecting. I will trust Harry Kane more than Romelu Lukaku because Harry Kane take that boxes for me as a number 9 than Romelu Lukaku.
You're gonna spend 200. You're gonna spend 200 million to get Harry Kane from Daniel Levy.
Red Devil Studio. Harry Kane will guarantee me 30 goals in a season.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying that is Daniel Levy's not going to sell to a direct rival.
Yeah, he's not going to Chelsea.
So if he's not,
that's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Is Man United not a direct rival?
He's not going to Manchester United either. Like that.
He's not going.
He's not going anywhere.
He's not leaving Spurs.
He's not going anywhere.
No. Red, you're telling me that.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere. Because you know why? Because Man U just signed Cavani, right? Yeah, Man U just signed Cavani.
If he wants to leave,
that's true.
No, he's not. I don't. Can you? Because anyone tell me a player recent of Spurs that signed long term under Daniel Levy that has been able to leave for a good fee?
No. It's not
anybody.
It's not possible for Harry Kane to leave. Yeah, I don't see Harry Kane leaving Spurs to Chelsea. The Spurs fans will burn down that stadium. I swear, they will not. They will not be able to.
Are you guys telling me that?
Yeah.
Okay, but how many years does he have on his
contract? He's got 2 more years left on his contract.
He has 2 more years.
It depends on the player, to be honest.
It doesn't depend on the player. It depends on.
It does. Because if you have an influential figure like Harry Kane at the club and he's extremely dissettled, he's gonna mess with that dressing room. So personally, I think the better business decision and scoring decision is sell and use the money and rebuild the club.
Spurs are not in debt. Spurs not in massive amounts of debt. And Daniel Levy, Daniel Levy is a clever businessman with the way he handles contracts to players. Like unlike Chelsea,
it's not only the financial part. I understand what you mean, but I'm saying
he's an employee.
Kane is an influence.
It doesn't
Kane is an influential figure in that dressing room. If the guy is a sales and the guy doesn't want to be there, that's going to affect.
It doesn't matter. Literally, he's an employee of Spurs Football Club. He signed a contract with the owner and with the club for a period of time. Yeah. Unless a club can come in, he's got 2 years on his contract. So maybe a year on, they might think, okay, maybe a year on, he's not signed a contract extension because Spurs. Daniel Levy will still think that maybe he might be able to convince Harry Kane to stay and sign a new contract. If he hasn't, then they've got a year. Okay, this time next year, if Kane has definitely said he doesn't want to leave, then maybe Daniel Levy will think maybe I might be able to sell this guy for maybe 70 or 80 to the highest bid or whatever. But right now, this summer, Daniel Levy and Spurs are still in the hot seat because there are many teams that will want his services.
Yeah.
Under no obligation to sell to a rival. And he's still got 2 more years left. And so as far as Daniel Levy is concerned, yeah, you can be on set if you want, but you're not going anywhere. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, he doesn't. Daniel Levy does not care. Daniel Levy doesn't care, bro.
No,
what if he pulls a Kepa and then doesn't come to training and stuff?
Nah, then he has a contract.
It's contract. He still doesn't care though. This Daniel Levy is one of those literally does not give a a damn at all when it comes to his country players.
And that's a fine anyway. That's a fine. If you do come to training, that's a fine.
Part that might affect Spurs today. Okay.
But look, Christian Eriksen was going to come to Man U. No, all the world wanted to come to Man U. No,
exactly.
He's not going to let anybody. He's not going to let you leave to anybody in England. He will not. No.
Can you give me an example? Any Spurs in the last 5 years have gone to direct rivals?
No, man.
No. That's Levy. Levy isn't run like Arsenal will sell their players to rivals and stuff like that. That's fine. Was it lead level? Kane has already made his plans. So
Hey, Red Devil, so you're telling me that Arsenal
the
are
only thing
willing
that
to
can
sell
happen
players
is
to a direct rival?
maybe.
Wow.
I understand what Sentiment is saying. Maybe Harry Kane could force the move himself that he wants to leave.
I do feel he can
That's what I'm
force.
trying to say. I'm just saying, Abdullahi, the intangibles.
Force the move. He could force the move.
Force the move, but okay. I get the idea of a player being like, right, okay, I want to leave, etc. But at the end of the day, a club still, bearing in mind that like so many clubs have financially been hit by this pandemic. Like Harry Kane is not going to leave Spurs for any less than a minimum 100 million, 120 million plus.
Yeah.
So I want teams that are in Europe that have 120 million to blow. That's minimum. I think it's probably going to be more given he's got 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
To spend on Harry Kane that aren't
Chelsea,
a direct
PSG,
rival. That aren't a direct rival.
Yeah, you're very correct about that.
Yeah, but the money won't be up front. They're not gonna. No one's gonna pay 120.
Yes, it's not a release clause. It's
not a release clause.
Exactly. So you can look at it that way that they would pay 30 per year.
Because even Bell had to struggle to leave the Real Madrid. That was like that transfer went down about the last day.
No, of course it's not going to be easy, but what we're trying to say is it might be possible because if he pushes a transfer and it's for sure that he wants to leave that club because he wants to win trophies.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I
But
think you could easily get him for 100 or 110.
100 million.
Some owners don't care though, because like
which club are we talking about? Which club are we talking
Man
about?
City or Chelsea could be.
I don't want
Say
him anywhere.
United, but
I don't want
you
him
guys
coming
signed
to us.
Cavani already, so
He's not. Like I said, he's not going to sell to a rival. That's not happening. So forget about City. So in 2 years, that's not happening. So it has to be a club outside of. So PSG, okay, fair enough, maybe, but I don't know what.
That's the best club, honestly. I think for him, like when you see Pochettino and all that.
Yeah, so that's that.
And I think that's why I understand what you guys are saying. But I think this is where the only thing that can happen is if. That's a big if Harry Kane could force the move himself that he wants to leave.
Levy don't care.
Levy doesn't care. As long as the money is appropriate for him, it will go.
Because Levy's like PSG's owners. Because a couple years ago, Verratti wanted to go to Barcelona. PSG said, no, you're not going anywhere. Neymar wanted to leave. They said, you're not going anywhere. And they both signed contracts. So if he says, the owner just says you're not going, you can't go.
Yeah.
Like,
this is what I'm saying. But
it's a little bit. If you're comparing it to PSG, win trophies. At least they win the domestic cup. This guy has been like starving for a trophy. Like, I think it's gonna. This summer, I'll really see the attitude of that guy because if he stays at that club and doesn't at least try,
isn't Messi starving for the Champions League? But he seems to be comfortable.
Messi has 3. You can't call that starving. Though. Kane hasn't won a trophy, and he's 27.
Yeah,
but Levy doesn't care. Levy don't care about that.
No,
he doesn't care about that.
Doesn't care, but I think
No,
Kane should.
no great player doesn't care about trophies, man. Come on. You
Exactly.
mentioned that he really wants a trophy.
I think if Kane doesn't care,
Levy doesn't.
And I think.
Hey guys, let's be honest. Did you see Son crying for that Papa John's Cup after he lost it? That's how desperate they are. They want trophies.
But Levy's not desperate. That's what you're not getting. It's about.
That's true.
It's not the player. Like if he says you can't leave,
I wouldn't say he's not desperate. I wouldn't say he's not desperate.
No, obviously, every owner wants to win trophies. No one's denying that. It's just the fact that the idea that Daniel Levy and Spurs are not going to with 2 years left. Bear in mind, this is a year left. We're having a different conversation.
It's 2 years left. Yeah,
2 years left. Like any sensible owner, this is the same thing with this is a similar situation to what United's doing with Pogba right now. Although it's been a slightly different because Pogba is what's coming out. He's saying he's happy, whatever. But with the 2 years left, it's sensible for any owner of any club to think, listen, what can we actually do to convince this guy to stay? And can we convince this guy to sign a new contract? And what I get this Harry Kane has said, oh, I want to win trophies, etc., etc. You don't know what he's negotiating behind the scenes. And I won't be surprised if midway through the season, if he doesn't get an offer, if he says no to whatever offer or not big enough offer, and Kane looks at me like, listen, to refer to you, and am I going to get a big move elsewhere? he might just end up signing another contract.
Exactly, like the hair, like the hair.
If he does that, no, you can't compare him to De Gea. De Gea has a Premier League. You guys are forgetting this. This guy doesn't have any trophy.
No, but once
Man,
but we haven't been winning trophies like that. I'm saying De Gea wanted to go to Real.
Yeah,
That's Real Madrid.
I think I love what Sam said. It's gonna depend on them Harry Kane mentality as a player. Because
Exactly.
do you want to stay? Do you want to stay in Tottenham Hotspur and do win on it? Or you want to move and say, I want to challenge me? Robin van Persie did that. He went to United and won the Premier League title. He did that.
Yeah, but he had the power. He had 1 year left.
He had 1 year left.
But even then, yeah, I understand what you guys are saying. But even then, Harry Kane has to play. Harry Kane has to play his card if anything is to happen this summer.
Exactly.
That's just the bottom line. That's the bottom line. If anything was to happen,
Red, you know the thing. If he plays his card, and it doesn't.
No,
move,
I mean, he has to be a bad exit. It has to be a bad exit. I'm talking about. There's
so
news in the papers. It has to get quite ugly.
Yes, I'm saying. So what's the card? The card is that he just doesn't turn up to training, doesn't turn up to things. He just
Yeah, it will have to be something like
Red Devil. Kane is an influential figure in that dressing room, in that club. If he doesn't want to stay, he doesn't want to stay. That's going to cause problems.
That's the only way.
Let's be real. I know Levy is a businessman, but I think he would be heartless in a way for someone who has served you that much, and you couldn't even give that person a trophy. And probably he's this kind of person, and he's a businessman. You don't
like,
get it personal.
Bro, they don't
These
care
people are
about.
heartless.
They don't care about the players, bro. Even Dortmund,
remember when Bale was at Spurs, right? And when Bale left Spurs for and broke the record fee for Cristiano Ronaldo. That was Gareth Bale left Spurs, and I think Modric was slightly lower, but Gareth Bale left Spurs. What was back then the world record transfer fee for that type of player? That was Bale. So why would
let me come to you where they was to do now? Based on the report, will you go for looking at Chelsea now? You know, go score. Will you go for Lukaku or you go for Harry Kane?
I mean, the key. I almost will ask one question, Abdullahi. Is that yes, okay, Chelsea can go for them, but there's a question is whether those players are actually available can come.
Yeah, because Fabrizio said Inter Milan they need money. They want to sell Lukaku to fund money. They literally need money.
But then I guess, I don't know, as Lukaku actually, because obviously Inter just won they were going to the Champions League, and Lukaku seems to be happy and settled at Inter Milan. So does he want to leave? Does he want to go back to Chelsea? Maybe he does. I don't know. They will want a sizable fee for Lukaku, and obviously already had the conversation about Harry Kane already. Where I just don't see that Harry Kane Daniel Levy's going to sell to direct rival with 2 years contract. That's just not going to happen. So if I'm Chelsea, to be honest, I think the more likelier option out of those two would probably be Haaland.
Haaland is not leaving. It's not leaving.
So maybe maybe next season, maybe even go for Calvert-Lewin. Maybe I don't know.
No, because Red Devil. What I'm trying to say is the ideal scenario for Chelsea right now is just to get a veteran striker that can get us 10 to 15 goals. Look,
exactly.
It is what it is. It is what it is because next year that's when the strikers will be available.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know we need a goal scorer. I understand, but somebody made a brilliant point. If we can get other players that can help fill that void creativity-wise and finishing-wise, and get maybe a veteran striker for cheap that can just fill the gap for one season,
Andre Silva.
like Thiago Silva.
So you wouldn't mind getting Aguero. So you wouldn't mind Aguero. Look,
man,
he's a perfect goal scorer.
I've been thinking about that.
No, I understand, but what are the options? Just
that's
what are the options?
Striker.
Do you want to take the risk and sound somebody like Iñárritu or Andre Silva, those kind of players that are not really proven? Because let's be honest, the Bundesliga makes players look like R9 in its
Andre
prime.
Silva is available for 30 million euros. You're not going to make much loss. That's peanuts.
No, I'm not sold on
Chelsea. So you might as well
30 million euros. Look, that's interesting. That's
Andre Silva.
No, I don't know. I don't know if he's the kind of striker we need. I'm going to be honest. He's not the kind of striker we need. I agree, NK. Because
Go for it.
guys, Samuel and guys, listen. he's only available for 30 million euros. He's producing the
No,
same
man, that's not
more or
how.
less.
That's
Listen. He's
that's
producing more or less
that's
the
not how
same
football
numbers
works,
as
man.
Haaland. So what's the difference?
I'm not worried about the numbers.
8
Abdullah.
penalties.
No,
8
no,
So look at
penalties.
Timo
no,
Werner. Look at Timo
no.
Werner.
Wait.
Man was
Give me
scoring what,
something. How
26
many
goals in the
penalties?
That's
Bundesliga,
not how it
33 in all
works, man.
competitions.
How many
That,
penalties?
I don't want the stats.
How many
8
We need to
penalties?
penalties.
find a
15 goals.
player,
8 penalties.
a
How many
long-term
penalties has he
striker.
scored?
To be honest, guys, listen, if I mean maybe I'm in the moment to hear. Like I know he's had a head injury, but like from what I gather, he's going to be back by next season. I don't know why people are sitting on. He hasn't been playing, but he's still.
Menez is come on.
Do you know what his release clause is?
Yeah.
Do you know his release clause?
Okay, Red Devil, here's my point. I'm trying to make this. I'm trying to
This
be as
guy,
clear as
this guy,
possible.
Red Devil's trolling.
This is not the
Abdullahi,
summer.
Red
Well,
Devil's trolling.
let Samuel talk.
Red Devil's trolling.
On
Samuel,
Brown.
What I'm trying to say, is this summer is not the summer to sign a proper 9 that you can rely on to win you titles. It's not the summer. Next summer is. Harry Kane might be on the market. Maybe Lukaku. Maybe even obviously Haaland will be on the market. Maybe some other strikers. But even Lewandowski is a possible option next year. But what I'm trying to say is I don't want Chelsea Football Club to make a panic buy and buy somebody like Calvert-Lewin, those kind of players for 50 million and they flop. If we're buying a striker, it best be a world-class striker that's going to guarantee us goals. We cannot afford to sign another Alvaro Morata. No, we can't.
Can I just make a point? Can I just make a point about Haaland?
I'm not done. If we don't get a veteran striker, which is the only option, if Abdullah, what you say is true about Inter Milan and
Inter
Serie
Milan,
A, they're having financial issues.
Yeah, they have financial
120 million. If they really have financial issues, they're not going to demand 120 million. 120 million is just going to be a starting point just to allow them to keep their high ground. Then if we can negotiate that down to maybe 100 million, 90 million, Lukaku would be reasonable. But Chelsea Football Club cannot afford to buy players that have question marks. No, we can't afford that.
100 million for Lukaku.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's too much. That's
Fabricio tweeted that. That's what you're hearing.
I'm saying
it's too much.
Red Devil, I know it's hard for you to rate Lukaku because of how he played for your club, but he's looking all right now, man.
He's
Come
not
on,
worth
man. Give us some slack.
No, he's not worth 100.
How much would you worth him, Adam? How much would you worth? How much?
70, 80.
How much would you?
Yeah,
would you value him?
80 mil.
70, 80.
Yeah, that's about right. That's about right. Yeah.
No,
I know.
Samuel makes a good point.
Guys, can I just make a point?
Go.
If Haaland doesn't leave this summer, then he's destined next season to go to Bayern Munich, because it's perfect scenario for Bayern Munich where a release clause is not an out of reach price, and they pretty much dominate the German market.
I would never say. I would never come up.
Alan.
It's pretty much guaranteed.
Haaland? Oh yeah, guaranteed, man.
If he
Guaranteed.
stays, then he'll go
No.
to
What if
Bayern
he
Munich.
wants to play in the Premier League?
No,
There's a
I mean,
possibility he might want to play in the Premier League.
I mean, all that stuff is speculation. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Exactly. You can't say he's
Your
destined.
mic, bro. Yes, sir.
You can't say he's
Yes, sir.
destined for
No, but Samuel.
Listen,
No, but Samuel made a good point.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mute your mic.
I've muted him.
Because we have no other options.
Exactly.
I think it's a
Yeah,
great
why not
point,
sign a
because
veteran?
this
Look at
summer,
what Cavani's doing for us this year.
Well, why not? Or why not?
sign a
Why
veteran?
not do like most other teams do? Like, why not play for the year? Like, don't you
Yeah,
have like?
Jameer, if Chelsea can find a player like Cavani, I'd be really happy.
Yeah,
Where
Like a
you-
veteran.
Where your
Like,
academy strikers?
Guerrero, there's a Guerrero.
exactly. Look at what Suarez has done for Atletico this season. Like, bro,
Academy strikers.
you don't always have to go for the big name.
Yeah.
Daka, Patson Daka from Salzburg.
No, come on, bro. No.
We need a veteran.
Isaac.
Here's what we're doing. We're doing promise.
Isaac.
We're either signing
Extremely.
a guy with world-class promising talents, or we're signing a veteran that knows what he's doing. We're not signing any. It's not any
you-
Mishi Bashuwai that we're signing. No.
Never.
It's not Mishi Bashuwai.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
I reckon every single player that this is just a superstition. I have met Batshuayi. Ever since I've met Batshuayi, he's turned rubbish. I'm not even lying. I just have a feeling. Ever since I've met him, he turned rubbish. I met him in 2017, January. He hasn't been the same.
It was never really the same before that. So
The same thing with Chesley. My mum ruined Chesley's Arsenal career.
it was never really the same before that. I think it was never the same.
So guys, to round this up now, FA Cup coming up. What players do you guys want to see in the FA Cup, and what players you don't want to see? Because the way Tuchel talked today, yes, I always listen to his press conference, but today it was so pissed off and mad. It was very, very angry today. It was mad. It was so mad today.
Abdullah, I don't want to see Zuma in the squad. I want him out of the squad. I want Kepa out of the squad. This is not even.
Guys, you guys are too harsh.
Red, let me just say this. People forget I think that Man City game.
Red Devil.
Zuma almost sold that game. We were lucky. Yeah. Zuma almost sold that game. It was horrible at that game. Horrible.
That was
even before that. The chances that Sterling got, he was allowing Sterling to run past him. Like what are you doing? So nah, man, I don't want that guy in the squad. I don't want Kepa in the squad. They can celebrate if we win it, but they shouldn't be part of the team we stand up. And Mendy has to start. And Rudiger, Thiago Silva, Azpilicueta. You know, it's just.
Are you worried that like Chelsea potentially might not get top 4?
It's possible.
Because I don't think that it's
no,
because I don't think that. I mean, as a general rule, when you play a team and then play the same team 2 days later, you don't necessarily get the same results. So I'd be very surprised if Chelsea won both games. So they're either gonna lose the final or they'll win the final.
Do you trust your club?
What, United?
To beat them tomorrow.
Yeah, do you trust?
You guys need to help
trust your club?
Oh, yeah,
as long as you beat them tomorrow, I'm fine. As long as you beat them tomorrow.
As long as you beat them tomorrow, fine.
Not necessarily because
Maguire's a big loss.
Because Liverpool have 2 games in hand over Chelsea. But I mean, you've got 2 games left.
If they win those 2 games, they're still like 1 point behind us. So
no, but Red.
But look, what I'm saying is, if you beat them, then it's
if United beat Liverpool, I'm fine.
Yeah,
I mean, Maguire's
guys beat them.
I think it's still. I think it's because the thing is, even if we beat them, and I don't know, we probably will or probably be a draw. Like if Liverpool win their next game, so still have a game in hand, they'll only be 3 points behind you guys.
Yeah,
and you have left, and obviously you only have 2 games left. That's Leicester, and that's the Villas, and then that's the Villa side who've got Jack Grealish coming back. The point I'm trying to make is like, with all the changes that you're making and trying to keep players fit in Champions League, etc., like it's not necessarily a foregone conclusion. It wouldn't surprise me if Chelsea did drop points or even lost against Leicester in the league if they go strong in the FA Cup. And then obviously you're going down to the last game of the season and anything can happen, especially when Villa, who have nothing to play for, will have Jack Grealish coming back who can obviously ball. So, Liverpool's
don't worry about my club, man. Don't worry about my team, man.
Well, don't worry about them.
Put that out there because
Red Devil. That's a big.
I'm 5th place. I'm going to be trolling people. Okay. So
what's the situation with COVID?
Okay, don't worry.
We'll be back.
Don't worry.
No, the thing is that Red Devil has a point in a way, but what I would say is that Leicester too have to play their stronger squad in the final, and it might also affect them in the next game. So it's both. You can't just look at Chelsea standpoint.
But see, the only thing I would say about that is I know that Leicester want to win the cup, but I think Leicester, in their mind, the hierarchy might not be. We want to secure top 4. Top 4 for us is more important than necessarily winning the FA Cup. So I wouldn't be surprised if Brendan Rodgers, with that in mind, made more changes than Tuchel did. I don't think it's the end of the world of Leicester City.
I understand what you said. But for me, I think what I would say is
essentially, I'm saying you should expect.
I think it's gonna depends on how we bounce up. But Red Devils just win tomorrow first, and that will be easy because when you win tomorrow, we have a lot of breathing space. And like we know once we beat Leicester City, we'll know Aston Villa is the only thing to face off.
This is the problem with United. Whenever Chelsea fans want them to win, they lose. They do it.
You can't depend on United. You can't depend on United.
No. Liverpool never beat United at Old Trafford. That just doesn't happen.
It'll be a draw. Most likely it'll be a draw.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Ole has a good record.
Yeah.
Maguire.
No, but
It doesn't no
Maguire's a big loss because
We've,
Maguire's
we've, we've, we've kept clean sheets. We've kept clean sheets with Phil Jones as centre back, even in our worst years, and still been lost to Liverpool at Old Trafford.
I'm not even talking about defense. I'm talking about the fact that he's our best passer from defense.
Red, but you know that
Liverpool
today
press
Chelsea
high.
hasn't lost against Arsenal in almost 10 years, and we lost today. So there's always a first.
No, I thought you lost to Arsenal early in the season.
At home.
Oh, at home.
Yeah.
Hey, Abdullah,
The last
guys,
time we
do
lost
you
to
want to
Arsenal
bet?
at home
You
was
want
2012.
you guys?
I'll keep quiet.
You guys want to bet?
Exactly.
You guys want to bet money that Tuchel gets sacked next season?
I'm not betting anything, bro.
Oh
I'm not
my
putting any money.
days, man.
It's
Just one game.
Look at the
No,
tone he
listen.
said that.
You want me to
Look at
bet
the
that
tone he
Tuchel
said
gets
that in.
sacked next
Or
season?
is not being overreactionary. It's Chelsea. Anything
Or
can
or how
was
can
smiling.
I will not
I'm
be
telling
taken
you,
out
this
of
is
the
Chelsea,
game.
yo.
Let's
This
calm
is
down. It's
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Just
It's Chelsea.
Look at the way
leave
Court's
this man alone.
smiling.
Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Just leave this man alone. Let him do his job. Let
He's
him
not
do his
gonna
job.
be in Chelsea forever. I know he
Praise
won't be
God.
in Chelsea
Nah, but
Let him do
because
his
once he starts having a bad run of form, next thing you know, you guys are like, oh man, let's sack it, let's sack
Nah, but
it.
Abdullah,
Yeah.
Abdullah, I don't know why we gotta give Solskjaer some credit because we already lost three games by October. You know how many games we lost since then? Since October, 2. So
Yeah.
this guy deserves some credit.
He did. Yeah, he does. He deserves some credit.
The
And the
standard
players have turned up
is
for him a lot. Though. The
though.
players have turned up for him, which is
No, he's a
the
good
key.
manager too. Let's not only give it to the players, man. I
Yeah,
think people should
he's a good man
No.
manager. Yeah, man manager.
people should
Ole
stop
has
that
my
narrative
respect, man.
of
Ole
blaming
has my
the
respect,
players.
man.
People saying that
He's a good manager.
Arteta
That's why I said. That's why I said. For this blah blah, I'll wait till the season finish before I judge even Tuchel himself as a manager.
Yeah, even
Yeah,
next.
I'll wait till the season finish. And
I have a question. Do you think Ole would be doing a better job than Arteta if Ole was the Arsenal manager?
Yes,
Keep
absolutely,
on the point.
100%. Absolutely, 100%. He'll be doing better.
So guys,
He's not a bad manager.
yeah.
People
So
should
guys,
stop that. He's a
I
good
think it's kind of the end of the stream, guys. I'm just looking forward to the FA Cup final on Saturday. Chelsea, please.
Abdullah, can I just say
Just
something
win.
quick?
Just win and join.
Abdullah,
Yeah, I'm listening.
United win.
I think the biggest issue I have is it's gonna be automatic by default. The kit that we're gonna wear, man.
I don't want to talk about the kid, man. I don't want to talk about it.
Man U's kit, man.
I know.
Also, I want to remind the audience, DFB Poker watch along tomorrow. DFB
I'm not watching any. I'm not watching any. I'm not watching any stupid DFB Poker. I don't have time. I don't have time for any.
This guy cool,
man.
No, but if any reason though, if for any reason we lubricate Liverpool, emergency hangouts.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah, man. You guys should reduce.
Okay, fine. Yeah, because we owe you.
That would be good.
Yeah, we owe you.
So
if you beat Liverpool, we owe
peace,
you.
guys.
So, yeah,
Peace, everybody. Peace. Everybody, peace.
Peace
Subscribe,
out,
guys. Like, subscribe. Peace, everybody. Peace.